our vibration, because as a society we live in fear. But if you recognize, the more you recognize it, the faster you'll see the change, and the faster you'll be able to pull yourself out of that slump. But it takes time. Since I became aware of it, it's taken me like a good 5, maybe 6 years to really be able to pull my mind out of that fear trap. But the more you trust it, the easier it gets. And stuff. But what's really nice is so the card that popped out for you is Door to Personal Healing and Happiness. And it makes 100% sense to me, or 100% sense to me for you to have this card. I'm sorry, I can tell that it's not very clear on my screen if you see that video later. But I think the thing that you have to remember is that you're kind of trapped in a little room right now of doubt, fears. We always think, oh, I should have been better, because especially in today's society, we're always striving to be better. But the thing about being in that little room, what's really exciting is you have the choice to open that door and being okay with that. So you're there right now. I feel like you're standing in front of the door, and I feel like you've opened it a crack, but you have to completely open it. And the other thing about this is when we open that door, what we're doing is we're basically saying, I'm ready for healthy love in my life, but that healthy love in your life is not necessarily love, or it's a love for yourself, a healthy love for yourself, which is the cornerstone to a really good, happy life. And that is going to be as easy or as difficult as you would like it to be. So sometimes, when we're growing up, the scariest thing that sometimes we did was learning how to ride a bike without training wheels. So first we put the training wheels on, we learn how to ride the bike, and then eventually the training wheels come off. And even though we know we can ride the bike, when those training wheels are first off, we're a little wobbly, we're a little shaky, but then we just go and we're like, wow, I never needed those training wheels, I'm good. So right now you're kind of at the training wheel stage, and that's okay. Even if you're an adult and you still got those training wheels, it doesn't matter, because what matters is that you're going forward and you're recognizing that the wheels are there, and that means that you're getting a good support system. You're starting to take care of yourself. I just heard getting clean. Like, are not necessarily with drugs, but like clean can be like clean eating, clean frame of mind, clean emotions, learning how to love yourself more. Does that so far all make sense? Like, can you relate to all of that so far?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I don't, I guess it's with myself. Like I said, I stay in fear a lot. I'm not really sure. I just stay in fear of,
okay.
Not knowing what's going to happen.
Do you want to change that up? Sorry, do you want to change that up? Or some people don't, and that's okay. That's your personal choice.
Oh, I would love to.
Okay, perfect. So this is what you're going to do. This is what I'm going to task you with for the next while, is as soon as you wake up in the morning and you go to the bathroom and you start getting ready, I want you to find one feature on yourself that you are going to say, you are rocking that. One of my really good friends, she was having a bad day, and she's like, there is nothing that I see in the mirror that I like. And I was like, what about your eyebrows? Your eyebrows are amazing. She's like, yeah, I do love my eyebrows. And I was like, so every day you're going to start off by saying, I am rocking these eyebrows. I am rocking these eyebrows, and I'm kicking ass. So find one thing that you absolutely love about yourself. And anytime you start putting yourself down or being like, Wendy, you should have known better, or Wendy, you should have made better choices, be like, yeah, I maybe could have, but I'm rocking these eyebrows, and that's what matters. Do you think you can do that every day?
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. And then what you're going to start doing is after a week or even 2 weeks after doing that every day, you're going to add one more thing in. You're going to be like, yeah, I'm rocking this hair too. Yeah, I love my eyebrows, or I love my nose, and I'm rocking this hair too. I got some really nice hair, and I take care of myself. And then what happens is that is a slow step to changing your vibration. And the more you change your vibration into love, the less fear, the less anxiety that you will have. Okay?
Okay.
I wish you nothing but the best, Wendy. I think you're going to rock it, especially since you've got the card telling you that you're right in front of that door to personal healing and happiness. And that also gives you an idea that your happiness is in your hands, which is always encouraging to know as well. Life doesn't happen to us personally. Life just happens as a result of our decisions. And we just have to kind of learn to live with the consequences of those decisions, whether they're good, whether they're bad. And I don't even like saying that we've made bad decisions. I think we just have an experience. We just have a lesson to move from. So that's everything that I have for you out of that card. And I hope that I'm sending you tons of love, and I wish you nothing but the best on that.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Wendy, for calling. I really appreciate it. I've got 30 seconds for everybody, so I really appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, Wendy. And thank you to everybody else that joined me today. I love my show. Love and light to all of you, as always. And I can't wait to see you next Wednesday. It's going to be a great day. So anybody in Canada, have a great long weekend, because I know we all have it. And everybody else going to school, have fun in school.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Channeled Spirit. I am Dr. Erin, and I am a spiritual medium. I am so glad that you could join me this week for another, and I hope, eventful show. Let me start off by saying that it's been an incredible week, just really busy. So much going on. My kids are back in school, lots of meetings and planning, running around errands. I've just been doing a lot of readings. And then last week I started going back to the gym. Holy cats. Hallelujah. I actually did it. I stepped foot on real workout equipment. Somebody give me a trophy. Now, it's funny, I swear I could actually hear my angels probably singing like a little choir, because they've been driving me absolutely crazy for a couple of years to really get myself in shape. So, it's funny. I'm actually going to talk about this just a moment before I get to my readings. In case anybody out there is developing psychically themselves. Now, we all know that it's in our best interest to work out. That's, we know that what you eat and how you care for your body is so important, but I want to let you know that, if you're developing psychically, it's clearing and it's cleansing, and it makes you more in touch with the universe. All right. So for me, I already ate, I love veggies and fruits, but I eat a lot of them, and I drink water, and it's very grounding. So for those of you that are learning spiritual, you understand grounding. And I do what I can to avoid toxins as much as I can. I mean, let's face it, that one's kind of hard because, well, there's toxins in our environment everywhere, sadly. But it's important to try to avoid it as much as you can, because it helps to keep that third eye clear. So for the last few years, I've been watching much more carefully what I eat, and I'm taking out processed foods, stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you, I just can't give up coffee and chocolate. And I might not, never. But my angels never forget to remind me that I need to start taking better care of my overall health by taking part in some kind of an exercise program. And I'm always like, yeah, well, then doesn't cleaning the kitchen floor count for something? But no, I mean, I've been planning this, but now I'm officially doing it. So I'm very proud of myself for doing this. Oh yeah, and I might add, if my spiritual team isn't getting on my back, and now I have an amazing husband, but he's in the military and he loves physical fitness, and he's a former drill sergeant. So if I'm not getting spiritual advice from up above, you can absolutely guess that I'm getting it here too. And for me, I cringe at the thought of an exercise program, but I am that person that constantly says I don't have enough time in a day. And I know to a point, we all say this sometimes if we're struggling with that. And it can be true, but honestly, we have to make time, even if it's just for a brisk walk. It's important. So I know this, and that's why I finally set a date and got myself out there. And you know what? I was kind of worked up about it, going in and getting started, but actually it was great, and I felt so much better. I absolutely have to say I felt better. So anyways, I wanted to share that in case others of you were out there that could relate to this. I did it. I'm happy, and I just need to stick with it now. Okay, so I'll get off that, and now I'm going to get back to the show. Today, actually, what's going to happen is I am taking 3 selected participants, and they're coming from my Facebook page. It's Dr. Erin Cube, if anyone's gone out there looking for it. And what I'm going to do is I have 3 of them that I'm providing spiritual guidance for right here over the show. They won't be on the phone, though. This was easier for them and more comfortable. And so what I did is I had provided an opportunity for followers to take part this past week in being selected by a drawing to ask for guidance. So when they won, each of them emailed me to provide a question, an area to address live on A1R tonight, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so to get started, I am going to be addressing my first participant, Mary Ann K. And Mary Ann asks about love and finances, So Mary Ann's asking about love and finances. So what I'm being told, the first thing is that you're very, very vibrant, and you're good-hearted, and you're morally strong, and you're an ethical person. But I do pick up a great deal of sadness, like sometimes that you don't always want the world to see. And I'm told that you need to know that you're not alone, and that your guides and your angels and loved ones are all around you. All right. So I know you feel them sometimes. So don't doubt that they're there, and that they want you to know that you're experiencing tougher times right now, but that they're going to fade. In time, they say. You will realize how important the situation has helped you on a soul growth level, and you'll see it. It'll just become more clear, because you see things happen in our lives that we don't always like or want to experience, right? But it happens because it's part of a bigger plan. It's part of God's plan. It was part of your soul contract. And I guess to specify, you see, we come into this life with a mission to learn, to love, and to grow with one another. And not every experience is going to be pleasant. And sometimes we look at life and say, oh, like, no way. How could I have planned this? There's no way that this is fair. But, in time, you'll see that it's one of your many challenges. And as souls, I think you should really know that we plan our journeys together before our descent into this life. So sometimes our journeys together with others, sometimes they're shorter than what we'd like, and it's all part of the agreement with one another. We even generally know our voyage length and the adversities that we have to overcome before we get here. It's our journey to push through towards our own enlightenment to get to a better, higher place, to get there, to enlightenment. It's one step at a time. Patience, trust, know that what you're experiencing right now is just that same thing. It's just part of a bigger plan. Okay, so I do feel a large amount of creativity around you, and you're someone with a lot of great ideas, and you tend to be able to design plans well. And so I hope you understand that. You are a light worker yourself. You might say, oh, I am, but you are. And sometimes you get doubt when it comes to your own intuition and feelings. And I see you spreading joy, pretty much wherever you go. You just have that about you. You have an energy around you. I can't tell. This is something that came in really strong, even like when I got your initial email, is Reiki, or hands-on healing, but it definitely comes up around you. So it would be great for you to take part in something like this if you haven't, because it would suit you just to even give it a try, doing it on the side, with whatever you're doing right now with your job. Plus, it can help you to learn how to harness energy. Yes, that's what I wanted to tell you too. It can harness energy and allow you to heal, as well as other people that you would be healing. You can learn how to ground yourself and let go of, I feel like you take on a lot of excess energy, which healers do, because it tires and it depletes you. So I don't know if you're experiencing this sometimes, but I'm really feeling like you do. Unfortunately, I can't look. I hope this makes sense, but I really can't look. I mean, sometimes things stem in because you're holding on to too much, and I really can't look too much into your health issues. I know that was kind of like a question, but I'm not a practicing medical doctor. And but I just want to clarify that the Reiki is really around you, hands-on healing, and that'll give you a really good start, for your overall health too, and helping others. I think you'll like that. I think you need to look into that. So one of the last things you had asked me about was love too, and I wanted to tell you this. This was interesting because I was picking somebody up right away. I was told somebody's coming in. I don't know if maybe you just met them or you're dating them, but yeah, I was definitely hearing romance, seeing flowers, even candy, and all is a sign that someone's entering or about to enter. Like somebody is definitely there. I feel like this person may be in your life already to some degree, even. I feel like you can trust in this relationship, and I'm supposed to tell you that it's long-term. It's long-term for you. Like this is, yeah. And so keep your mind open and your heart ready to accept this person. Don't be afraid to let go of fear. I know you get a little worried sometimes about losing them, losing people, but if that makes sense, just they want you to know just to be open, be your loving self, and it'll all work out just fine. Fine. It does help to always think of things as you desire it, like as you want to see it in the future. It's a law of attraction. So my best advice is just make that grand for yourself. And I also want to say that I was thinking that maybe you were finishing a project, because there was some success around there, and there's a sense of accomplishment that's coming through. So your angels are definitely saying well done. So I hope you understand this, and they want you to bask in that and feel joy. They're also saying more is coming that will bring you rewards and even more accomplishment. I don't know if you're up for some kind of, I don't know, if it was like a promotion or some step up. That could be it. Something's coming up because it's really good. And I just keep hearing like, good job, good job. Yeah. And they do tell me you're currently are feeling some issues with your past and letting go. And I mentioned what I picked up earlier. again, your guides are telling me it's okay. They're working with you. They say to really keep moving and don't procrastinate, because so much is going on. So much is going to come forward, I should say, in a really promising way because of your hard work. And they mentioned to know that you're not going through any challenges alone, so don't worry about anything. Just keep seeing everything as you desire it. Don't let fear get in your way of stopping you or from moving forward, with all the great ideas you have, because you've got a lot of them. They're definitely around you. If you stumble in any way, ask your guides out loud, what can I do? Show me a sign. Then look around, listen from within. You do have that intuition, notice ideas, and then move on them. Jot them down, journal them, go with it. You have a wealth of divine info that's coming in. It's at your fingertips. It's creativity. They're right there for you, and they say they'll help you anytime that you need it. So good luck, Marianne, and thanks so much for letting me read for you. I hope that gives you some better insight. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so that was for Marianne, and now I'm going to move forward to my my next selected follower. Winner is Linda L. And Linda, good evening, Linda. I don't know if you're watching this right now. You're going to watch it on replay. But I want to also thank you for allowing me to read for you. And just so everyone knows, Linda is actually a past mediumship client. She's been a client. I've read for her before, but it was just for mediumship for her loved ones from Spirit to come forward. So this time for the spiritual guidance, Linda had sent me an email asking me to bring some clarity to her current situation. And she wanted to know information about like the house that she's selling, and her personal situation regarding her past, specifically relationships, and her new home. She's moved into a new home, and there's been some issues with the home, and she wants to know what is to come, for her overall sense, I guess, of well-being is what I was getting. So, yeah, Linda, I don't really know where to start with that, because even when you sent me that email, there was so much energy coming through that. Yeah, it was really charged, and I don't know where to start. I think you and I could probably set up an appointment to talk via Skype here, but I'm going to give you what I got, and there's a lot of info that swirls my brain. It's almost like I'm feeling overwhelmed, your anxiety and frustration. It's almost like my teeth are kind of chattering, and my heart's racing. So I don't know if you're having racing heart, but I'm feeling like, shallow breathing, like you're panicking sometimes. So first of all, I guess what I'm going to tell you right now, when you listen to this, if it's now or if it's another time, I want you to stop. I want you to remember to stop. I want you to take deep breaths, hold them in, and then exhale. So if we all do that, taking that deep breath, holding it in, and then letting it go. It's really important when we start to feel like we're losing control or we're losing faith and we're just losing that touch. And so deep breath, and then let that go. You can count it, you can hold it to the count of 3, but you need to remember that. And sometimes it helps to just see, just put white light around you just to let you clear yourself. But you, my dear, you're really sweet and you have a loving heart and good things are coming your way. So you just have to have some patience. Nothing ever comes fast. There will always be hurdles, I'm afraid. Lord, there's always hurdles. I think I have one every day. But I wish it were different. I feel like you think to yourself, gosh, I've come so far and I've put up with so much. Why is all this happening now? And when is it going to end? That's the main thing. When is it going to end? Well, thankfully we have waves in life, just like surfers. And sometimes we need to learn how to surf on them so that we can learn to stand tall even when it looks like we're going to fall off. There's no shame in falling off, too, I might add, sometimes. There's no shame in realizing that we don't always have all the answers. So, is the house going to sell? I get yes, but it's going to be more in the winter. I was actually hearing January on that, or something's going to happen in January, either a sale, an offer, something's going to happen in January. There's a significance to January, so, keep my fingers crossed for that. But hopefully sooner. I mean, obviously that would, but you're thinking, oh my goodness, January's so far away. But, there's hope, and but that was what I was getting. Okay, so next, I feel I need to tell you what your spiritual team is telling me, at least what I'm hearing. They want you to know that that they're congratulating you for coming so far. They know how hard it was. Okay, they know you're getting tired, but know that they're there. So just like I told Marianne, they never leave us. Your family, your dad, your mom, uncle, they're there. So know it and talk out loud to them if you need to. Let them know your frustrations and ask them to comfort you and give you signs too. I do that a lot. Sometimes I just feel like I'm talking to a wall, but obviously I'm a medium. But I know they're there. My faith is there. So sometimes I just have to rely. You have to rely on that during the hard times. You are on the beginning of a new journey, and you have made so many steps to make it happen. Once you step out, it's awesome. They say it's time to start letting go of the past. Start seeing what you've accomplished so that you can look at how great and wonderful of a lady you truly are. So what happened in the past, it doesn't define you. It shapes you. Take what happened and know what a fighter and a survivor you are. And don't look back. Don't let it drag you down. You're on the verge of great things. Yes, you're on the verge of great things. I hear, and you're surrounded with a good relationship, whether it feels like that's maybe a good friend or maybe even a new acquaintance, but there's somebody that person help you too. And see that you are able to take, you have new ideas with your house. You have all these ideas, and I think a lot of us do when we move in. We get these great ideas, but you're just so bubbly with it. But take them and move forward with them. It takes patience. Remember that, as hard as it is. Trust that everything's going to be okay. Stop worrying, okay? And don't be so hard on yourself. Just start preparing for the future, because I have a feeling things are going to move forward in a positive direction really soon. And also, it takes time to forgive and to heal. It does not happen overnight. And everything that's happened to you in the past, everything that you feel like you've suffered through, everything you feel like you have endured, remember, you're the fighter, and you're the one that's able to move past this and move on. You have to learn how to let go in a positive way so that you can heal yourself. Because when you start to let go, it's the little things you can just brush off, and that helps. Now, you had a windfall, yes, and it was all looking like a dream, but then when the tough tide came in, it crushed you. So definitely don't let it. Just get back up on the surfboard, okay? You can do this, girl, I know it. You have come out a winner in the past, and you will this time too. All right, so blessings to you, Linda. I'm excited for it all to fall into place. I'm excited to find out what happens, in the future. Just remember that when you get a knockdown, get up, keep going. You got this. All right. So remember that. And that goes for all of us. When life knocks us down, or it seems really unfair, get up, smile, even when you don't want to, and know that you're a fighter and not a quitter, because you can survive a hurricane. We all can. Even when we don't think we can, we can. Life's a journey. So every day, just try to remember what I told Linda. Remember to breathe. If things get really out of hand, take a deep breath in, hold it for a couple seconds, and then just let that go. And that will definitely help. Sometimes it helps to go outside. Sometimes it helps to ground yourself, by going outside and just sitting and walking in nature. But those are all things, just remember, this too shall pass, and it gets better. So, all right. Well, I'm getting to my final participant that was selected, Darlene A. And Darlene is asking about her life mission. That's always a big one. And guidance. And she mentions needing some advice on spiritual growth. And she mentions healing. Oh, yeah, that's right. She mentions healing and her hands tingling. Yes. Oh, my goodness. I love this. How awesome for you, Darlene. Yes, that's all healing there. Yes, ma'am. You are tuning in better than you think, and you're feeling that. That is amazing. That is awesome. The hands tingling. I don't even think I really have that. That is so cool. That's so cool. I know it's hard to trust that sometimes, but you're hearing them. You're definitely hearing your guides now. At least you might not think it, but you're feeling it. It's coming in, because I was picking up some blocks, but I think little by little that those are going to be less and less of an issue. Sometimes we get them when we're starting out. We move towards our target and journey is with the one that we're supposed to be on. Sometimes our mission is not very clear because, well, let's face it. I think that's big. I think that's a really big part of a lesson. We have choices. We have free will. And ultimately, we have to find what makes us happiest. I think it's fantastic that you're aware of your spirituality. You're trying to push forward with that. So know that you are becoming more aware every day. That's definitely a great sign that you're getting more in touch and in tune, and the hands are tingling. So, all right. So let me try to make this kind of brief, since I'm running out of time for today. But here is what I sense. You are feeling restricted, like you're lost and again blocked, but you're not. All right. It's just an illusion right now. They say they want you to look at all you have accomplished and what you've learned to see how it can bring in new ideas and passions. So while you're contemplating what's next, know that, again, I said it's talking about being outdoors. Know that if you spend quiet time alone in meditation, that you're opening yourself to receive. Know that sometimes that you don't always have to be like meditating deep in meditation. Honestly, for me, I find that driving or going for walks or just sitting out in nature helps. Just quieting the mind. I could be folding laundry and I'm getting information is coming to me. It's crazy. But I definitely feel, I need to say this, I definitely feel this school is on the horizon. And because of the tingling hands and the healer in you, I'm going to suggest this. I'm going to suggest you look into different energy modalities to take up, because there's many out there to choose from. You're not just limited to Reiki, for instance. You could try that one and see what you think. There's a number of them, though. So find one that feels right and see if it's a fit. If you've been feeling like any other course is right for you, if you get on a web page and you're looking at the school, just take it. Go with where you feel guided, because you're being guided to your purpose. And your angels, they say that they've been working with you to move through some areas of healing that you've had lower in vibration, I guess I'd say. I feel that you'll find excitement in healing, and I think you'll combine it with something else. But I'm feeling like they want you to get organized and do what I mentioned to see if you can find a fit based on your past experiences and lessons. They know you have concerns, but they say everything is going to work out fine. Just keep working on healing yourself. Sometimes things come into your life that you need to, you might need forgiveness on. Know that everything is going to happen in the time it's supposed to, and that your dreams will manifest. So set the foundation, use the law of attraction, ask for their help. You're a great woman. Learn to let your hair down a little too more. Have some more fun. You need to find ways to raise the vibration, and that'll help you connect to the divine. So I hope that helps. Good luck to you. All right, so I have to say goodbye now. Time's about out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ladies, for allowing me to help you. I hope it helps everybody, gives you some guidance. And if any of you out there heard a message tonight that you feel what was close to your own personal situation, know if your ears perked up, know that that was your intuition. So pay attention to that. That might have been for you, too. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today. I hope you found it enlightening. If you would like a reading, please feel free to contact me at my website at aaroncube.com. And you can go to my webpage, which is Dr. Erin Q. I run contests there. I'm running another one shortly here. I appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Oh, and note if you're watching this and wondering how to contact me, please know that I love hearing from you. But if you're desiring a reading with me or have a question, I do take appointments. So again, thank you for coming and being a part of the Channeled Spirit. I am Dr. Erin, your host, and I am signing off. I hope everybody has a lovely, lovely week.
Welcome to Your Time to Shine with your hosts, Darlene and Julie.
Your Time to Shine is a radio show devised to help you discover your own divine gifts.
Hi, I hope everyone is having a great night and a good week. Julie and I were talking today about what would be a good topic, a helpful topic that so people could learn from and really take something away from the show tonight. And Julie came up with change. So how many of you raise your hands if you don't like change? Change isn't always easy. And especially because we live in a time or a culture or a paradigm that says when you're comfortable and content and you have everything you have or you want, then you should be happy. So what happens when you're content and comfortable? Julie, what do you think?
Well, sometimes you get complacent, right? You don't try as hard, whether that be in your job or your relationship. So sometimes it's good to, do a self-check and check in and see what's going on.
Right. And I see there's somebody who is watching us live on Facebook, and she said, we are creatures of habit. However, the one thing that's constant is change. That's true. And then again, sometimes the change that's required to actually change something, not everybody is willing to do what it takes to make a bigger change, something that would actually transform life in a bigger way. For example, someone who's really miserable in their job, in their career, and they're not sure what to do next, but it's giving them a paycheck, and it's paying the bills, and it's supporting his family or her family. And what is that change? And sometimes it's the fear stops us from even looking at what could be changed, because the unknown can be frightening.
Absolutely.
Whereas being comfortable or in a situation that you're familiar with, most people choose familiar and safe. Yeah. Especially when it comes to something like money or relationships. And the unknown when it comes to money, especially in the world we live in, someone who may want to leave their job to go actually live their purpose. That's to put trust in what's next, to put trust in the unknown. That's not something, that's a change that that requires a lot of trust and faith and question in on so many levels. Yeah. So
yeah, absolutely.
Is there something with change that you've experienced? Here's a better question. So something that when you did choose change, you saw what a dynamic experience it was and how much it did transform your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one thing for change for me was mediumship. That was a huge change. It was a huge transformation for me to step out and, say, this is what I do. This is who I am.
We all had to upgrade to a new Skype, and it's creating havoc across the world. Skype every time that Skype does an upgrade, it has a while before it works out its kinks. Anyway, so change. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes you have to upgrade, especially on the internet, and sometimes it takes. What a perfect example! Sometimes it takes a while to figure out the kinks because you're walking new territory. It's not familiar anymore.
Right.
So every step you take is going to be new. And for me, that's more exciting than taking the same steps every day. And sometimes when I drive places, even if it's the same place I've been going to for several years, once in a while I'll just say, I need to go a different way because I'm really bored with this way. And I also stop paying attention. So that's something else. So when you're too comfortable and too complacent, you start ignoring and not having an awareness of your world around you because you're just doing the same old thing and you're repeating it like a robot. So you're not really, that's not exactly living. It's a life, but it's not exactly living. So imagine yourself just taking the same drive every day to work or to wherever you go and then home again. And it's the same traffic lights. Sometimes it's even the same cars around you. You sometimes see the same people driving back and forth, the same houses, the same stores. And we stop paying attention, and something really cool can be, I don't mean, take your eyes off the road, but that's not necessarily good advice. But just if you find yourself that you're really comfortable and content, start asking yourself, where am I then ignoring something that is new within that complacence? Because we then stop and we don't look around. We're not really absorbing everything around us because it's too familiar. So,
right.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so easy to get into that space and just be so familiar with everything. And it's really hard to step out of that comfort zone for a lot of people. And, it takes courage and it takes strength. And like you said, trust, just to step into something different. Whether that, like I said, whether that be a relationship or work or anything. It just a lot of courage. What else are the possibilities?
Yeah. And so that's a great question to ask. Every day I wake up and I say, what else is possible today that didn't happen yesterday? What's something new? What new adventure, can I find today? And here's another good question that really helped me get over fear when I left a 9-to-5 job to do my work. And this fear I would wake up with it, just this overwhelming sense of anxiety and terror, literally terror. I would just ask myself, what would I do if money wasn't an issue? Because oftentimes fear has to do with, it would change the money in the bank account. That's one of the fears. So I would ask myself, what would I choose here if it wasn't about the money? And I stepped into that, and I started creating while imagining that that's something that shouldn't stop me, with the fear around money. And I keep going, and I don't give up, and I don't give in, and I just keep living my passion and doing what's congruent with me, because that's a living, that's a life. So,
yeah, absolutely.
And the other area around fear would be relationship. So if someone is in a relation, we get calls all the time from people asking about the person they're with. Is this my soulmate? Is this someone I should be with? Is this going to work out? Well, I've in my past, I've stayed in relationships because my biggest fear in relationship was being alone. Well, if I'll stay in this relationship because it's somebody, it's good enough, and I'd rather that than not have anybody.
Right.
And I found that was one of the biggest mistakes I made. But I learned from that. Because then what I started asking is, okay, who and what would be better for me? So, yeah, the relationships are huge when it comes to making change. So you really ask yourself, is this person a contribution to my life? Or do we spend most of the time fighting and not getting along?
Right.
So, you can ask yourself, is this person a contribution to me? Am I a contribution to that person? And what will our lives look like in 5 years if we stay together? Okay, so if there is this pattern of whatever it is that you're not crazy about, you look 5 years from now, and is that most likely going to still be in place? And then you can ask the question, okay, if I had a different partner, or if I moved on from this relationship, what would my life look like in 5 years? Would there be more possibilities? Would there be, space, more joy, less fighting? It's amazing when you start asking questions instead of focusing on the fear of change. And not staying. Yeah.
That's a whole different way of thinking, and that's a really different view of, what people normally look at. So when we're talking about all this, these are all really great points. It is completely rewiring the brain to think differently.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, asking ourselves, where are we spending and are we focusing on the fear of change, or can we start asking questions about, if you did choose change, what would your life look like in 5 years? And oh wow, that would be amazing.
Right.
So that becomes much more exciting than complacency and familiarity.
Yes.
I know it does for me. Whoa, it's this big, huge, delightful energy. It's much more juicy than, yeah, I'm content. Yeah, he's good to me. Or, yeah, the job pays the bills. I'd rather be like, whoa, if I left that job, oh my God, all the doors that would open, all the happiness I'd be able to spread into the world, because I wouldn't be so bogged down by this job I hate just because it pays the bills.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so joy or complacency, change or familiarity. Yeah. So, are we ready to take a caller?
Sure.
Sade from Columbus, Ohio is on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
How can we support you tonight?
I guess I'm fine tonight.
Do you have a specific question that we can tune into the energy of?
Uh-huh. Hello?
Hi.
Yeah. So what is your question?
General, it's just life period, relationship, job, anything.
Is there a particular area that stands out the most for you that you would like information around?
My relationship right now.
Your relationship now?
Yes.
Okay.
So
It's
I
like,
am. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you guys? Trying to think of how to put this. What I'm seeing is I'm seeing someone dancing. So I'm wondering if. So when I see somebody like that, and I see if a person dancing, it's not necessarily literally dancing, but that just the fact that you guys are enjoying. There's a journey that you guys are enjoying together. I see this person in your life. This person is a gentleman. He is he's very gracious.
I don't know if you probably talk about my dad or somebody, because I'm a lesbian, so I don't know. The gentleman,
Okay, so
I have a son.
Did your dad, did he ever wear hats?
Yeah.
Okay, so I must be picking up on your dad. He's doing it. He's doing little tap dances, and he's very excited to be connected to you right now. He's telling me that he's telling me that you're going to be fine. That he sees joy in your life, and he sees that. He sees that the person that you're with may not be the one that you stay with for a very long time, but there's going to be somebody coming in that is going to raise you up and lift you up.
Wow. So
yeah, he's showing me like he's putting his hands in the air like he's lifting. He's lifting up. Darlene, are you picking up something?
When you were saying the dance, I see that whoever you're with now, you're more doing a dance with each other, and it's like you're trying to get this footing, but it's not, you can't quite get the steps to match. So when Julie was talking about the dance, it's like you're
right.
or dancing around the issue.
Yes, that's it right there.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, because she likes to lie all the time and just telling the truth about everything. She likes to, if I ask her a question, she tries to change the subject or something like that, instead of just answering the question.
Yeah. She skirts the issue. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, so think about what it is then, what can you ask from her?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're both then dancing, doing a dance and not quite getting to the issues that need to be talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Exactly. So what should I do? Like, it's not me with the issue. It's always her. Like, she's like, she keep her phone on silent. Like, she's real secretive. Like, I don't know what to do. We're supposed to be moving in together, but I just don't know if that's the right step to do at this time.
I'm getting no. I'm getting that you need to wait on this for a little while.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because if you're already feeling like there is, that there's lying and that there is, you know, she's not being honest, her phone is being silenced.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you know, there should be none of that. To me, that is a huge, I'm being shown a red flag. I'm being shown a red flag. So I mean, personally, if it was me, and if I was talking to a friend, I would say I would hold off on that.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
So is she talking to someone else, or is it just like she's just being sneaky? I don't know.
Well, when you spend time with someone, here's a question. Rather than us giving you the answer, here's a question for you to think about.
Okay.
When you're with someone in a relationship, a love relationship, how is it that you would like to feel? Would you like to feel trust? Would you like to feel loved, taken care of, someone you can spend a lot of time with? So if you sit down and really think about, even write down, what are your priorities in a relationship? And are you receiving what it is that you would like to have in this particular relationship? So then it's your choice if you stay or you don't. Okay. And can you imagine in 5 years what your life would look like if you stay, or 5 years from now if you found someone else that treated you and more like what you would desire in a relationship?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And it's not easy when we have a relationship and we're in one. Sometimes that's simpler and easy to just stay and see if you could make it work. Right? Like what Julie and I we were just talking about this at the beginning of the show. So you can choose what you have now, or you can choose, something that you would rather have and have it look like something different. And make a change. Yeah. Right.
And to put this in a little bit of perspective for you, Sade, I actually had a similar situation. I'm divorced, and I'd been together with my spouse for a very long time, but then I could see the change, and I could see the, I could see the, turning the phone take or looking at the phone when I'm not, watching or listening or anything like that. So take what Darlene has said, and then just sit with that for a little bit and see how you feel.
Yeah. And we're about to, the show, that went by really quickly. So Sade, I hope everything works out really well for you. And remember, you have a choice. You have a choice to be happy. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're beautiful and you deserve the happiness. And it's out there. We live on a planet with over 7 billion people. So, just to put it in that perspective.
And remember what your dad said, being lifted up high.
Yeah, being with someone who lifts you high. That's a great something to go away with. Awesome. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Julie, it was a pleasure.
It was fantastic. Thank you so much.
And you can go to yourintuitivementors.com for information about Julie and I and the readings that we offer. And our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, if you'd like to say hello and keep in touch. And next Thursday, same time, same place.
Hi, I'm Dean, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to the Medium Garuda show on A1R Psychic Radio. So, I've been away for a while, but I'm ready to rock and roll again for some nice live psychic readings. Normally, we should have 2 readings this evening, so I hope I will have a reading very quickly because I didn't prepare anything. So you see me talking right now and I don't have any piece of paper in front of me. I'm really excited and I really want to talk a little bit also about something that can give you some strength for especially people who are waiting for their specific love in their life. How would you deal with that? Would you put your life on hold, or would you move on, or are you pulling trying to pull the person to you? What are your intentions? What is the best way to act in your personal life? Well, many people are in a situation they feel alone, like they are waiting for that specific someone entering their life, or they are waiting for that specific person which is still a little bit in the past, and once they want to share their complete life with and grow old with. Well, how are you going to deal with such a situation? Because it's difficult to keep faith in the fact that this person will be with you in a certain time frame. Well, the best thing you can do is move on with your own life. Don't wait for this person. And why don't wait? Because when you wait for somebody, it takes a lot of time. Because if you wait, you are aware of the time which is moving and moving. So you are counting the seconds, so to speak. So the best way for yourself is just move on with your life. Try to invest in your career. Try to invest into yourself. Just give a little bit of attention to that person when he's asking for that, or she, of course, because it can be a he or a she. It depends on the situation. If it is a person like a person in the past, and the communication is a little bit difficult, try to be yourself, try to be relaxed in that situation, try to not push your limits. So, if you pay not too much attention to that situation, to that person will be a little bit curious. And that person will communicate with you because this person is curious if you are going to move on with your life with another person. So, he's afraid of losing you. So if you have created such a point of view, that's bingo, because in such a situation, you create that this person will be pulling at your side. So he will try to, he or she, of course, to make himself clear to you in your situation that you can move on with your life with that person and grow old with this person. So but it is always difficult. If there's somebody you are focusing on, you are afraid of losing this connection, but try to have self-confidence and try to have faith in yourself. You are not alone. You are always with a lot of people, a lot of energies also on the other side. And that person, who are you waiting for? If that person will be in your life, you are not alone. So create your own happiness by moving on with your life, and by moving on with your own life, you will force your environment by focusing on you, so they will move on with you, so you're not alone anymore. And I already see I am also not alone this evening, because we already have a caller. It's a quick one. It's Kate from Waco, Texas. Good evening, Kate.
Yes.
Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, super. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I understand everything that you said to me, because I think the more you search for something, the further you get from it.
That's it. Because if you pull too tight to some situations, you push them away from yourself.
Yes.
So I
fully understand.
Yeah, because I feel you are struggling with something, because I get the tears in my eyes. So that means to me you are a little bit stuck in some kind of situation.
Yes, I just recently started living on my own for like the first time in my life, and I've been divorced almost 5 years. And so
yeah.
I feel like this is a huge new chapter in my life, and what I thought was missing was love, when really I need to be loving myself.
That's it, because you feel quite alone. That's what I already told a little bit earlier. Feeling alone is difficult to move on with your life, because there is no stimulation, there is no motivation to move on, because there is nothing to live for, so to speak. But you have chosen for yourself, because I feel there was a lot of communication in your past, and the person you were being married with, I feel, because there is still communication inside yourself which may come out, but I don't feel it needs to come out. So your relationship definitely has come to some certain point of an end, so it will not be picked up again. You will be having a new love life, but it feels to me like your relationship is still very close to you in your past. So that means you decided to move on with your life in a very short time of period.
Yes.
So that means to me you are a little bit struggling, you're a little bit stuck, like I do have to make some choices, but do I make the right choices? Do I want to move on my own? Is there somebody on my path I can grow old with? It is very difficult. I see a person on your path, so that's no, you don't have to worry about that, because it's a male person I see on your path. And it's a male person, and it will come into your life in some kind of combination with your career and your private life. Are you self-employed, or are you having much responsibilities on your job?
I work for doctors' offices doing authorization, so I do have a lot on my plate there.
Yes. So, like your career, you have a because your energy is moving around very rapidly, and you are a little bit of a nervous energy. So that means to me, nervous, not nervous, but restless. So it means to me, your career is quite busy, and it's a demanding career you are having.
Yeah.
So I also feel the sadness still inside yourself. It's the sadness from your past. It's like you lost somebody. It is some kind of, it's not only the person you've lost, but it is also a piece of your life, which is in your past right now, which is difficult to accept because you need to move on. You know for yourself you will be moving on, because I see you already made certain choices in your recent past. So that's perfect to me. So you already have crossed the crossroad. You are on the other side of the crossroad.
My mom passed away. That's probably exactly who that is.
Yeah, it's still it's also a little bit of the sadness I feel at your side. It's something which has recently happened in your past, because your mother feels like a kind of a fresh energy. She is also way too young to pass away.
Yes, she was 44.
Yeah, but it feels to me like it happened yesterday.
Yes, it definitely. She passed away 3 months before I got married. I'm 33 today, and so she would have been like 55, I think, this year. And she passed away whenever I was starting a new chapter in my life with my husband. And now I'm starting this chapter on my own and truly growing into myself since I lost her, because I battled depression really bad.
Well, don't feel bad, because it's easy to say, of course, from my side, but what I want to say is you are used to communicate with your mother, like from mouth to mouth, and you are used to the fact that she is physically connected with you. Right now, it feels to me like she is connected with you in some kind of other way, because your mother, she's giving me some, she's touching me with her hand on top of my head. So she's definitely with us. She's taking care of you. She wants to tell me that she's taking care of you right now, because she is comforting you. It feels to me like she's very close connection to you, and the close connection I feel with your side from your mother, that means to me like, it feels to me like it just is happened a month or a few months ago. So strong is that loss still in your appearance. That's also the fact that, because I just told you a few minutes ago that it's not completely your husband who are you missing, but it is the situation. Because you started this situation with the energy of your mother, so to speak. And the energy of your mother was in that relationship. So ending that relationship is also a kind of the feeling you've had about ending a connection with your mother. Mm-hmm. Because your mother was in that appearance. Your mother was there when you started your relationship, when you started to make some choices. But your mother is now on the other side, because your mother feels to me like she was sick.
Yeah, she was very sick.
Yeah, because I get a lot of, I want to throw up. I'm sorry for those words, but your mother makes me a little bit of sick. So that means that's the way she passed away. She was very sick. She was very young because her body wasn't ready to move yet. Her mind still needs, her mind is still here. That's why her appearance still very, she's really being with you very strongly. And that's because she is very young and she needs to be with you to help you grow up a little bit more, to help you step further. And why is that? It is because you are very spiritual, you are very sensitive. And it is very difficult for you to handle these strong emotions.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Your mother tells me that, and that's really a very beautiful message, because she is, she's comforting me on my head. So that means I need to pass that information to you. She is there for you, and she's also telling me that you are on the right direction right now. So you are making some moves right now in some certain direction. You are not going to choose for your old life, because that's really in your past. So that really has ended. But you are ready to move on with something new. And your mother is there with you. So that means when you started your relationship with your ex-husband, she was there with you. And now you are changing your life, you are changing your career path, because there are some changes on your path. Your mother is still there with you.
Okay.
So she's really comforting you. She's a little bit of guiding you, but there is another energy. It's a kind of a young energy. Did you lost somebody who was really very young? Like, did you have an abortion or a miscarriage?
I didn't have an abortion. Actually, that my ex-husband and I, when we first got together, he was playing professional baseball, and we were like 22, I believe, and just so young, and we made that choice. And that does bother me because my son that I had with my husband, he would have had an older brother or sister, and my first child was born on 11/1/11 at 9/11.
Yes.
So my children are definitely very strong beings.
It's a very, it's a meaningful date. What I feel, it's just, your mother shows me, that's really beautiful what your mother shows me, because your mother is telling me right now that the situation is very beautiful. You have a child now on your own, right now, with you, your son, but there is another son with your mother. Because I really feel that energy on the other side. So there is a little boy on the other side. So your son would have a brother, because it is a boy energy. It's a male energy. This energy is really on its place right now. So that means to me, this energy will not come back to Earth. This energy will be there with you until you also will move to the other side. So this is very beautiful, because your mother and that little brother of your son, so your son, they are in good, he is in good hands. So it feels to me like you are guided in your practical life right now here on Earth by your son, and there is a son on the other side who is guiding you, but then in another way. Because he is with you, but he is very close to your mother. I don't see that very often, but your mother and your son on the other side, they are behind you both. Normally, I should say, when you will be guided by somebody on the other side, somebody is at your shoulder or at some other point of view, but these two energies are really behind you, next to each other. So they are on the same line. And that means they approve your choices, what you've made right now. So you may proceed, you may move on with your life, make your choices, because there are some choices in your future. I see some career choices, I see some choices on your living environment. So that means in some kind of a near future, you will have to make some certain choices to create a different path for yourself. But the way you move right now, it's perfect. So move on. You will notice you will meet a person in your private life. So you will meet your love life, a permanent love. So not something temporary, but this is the person you grow old with. Black hair. It feels like an energy like 40 years old, some kind of such an age. It's a very mature energy. He's self-employed. He is a business type of man. So he feels to me a little bit like a Latino, but it will be a mixture of Western European and Latino. So it is a very beautiful energy, very sensitive. So this will be a person you grow old with. And I think it will be in some kind of a time frame between now and the 2 years. It depends on your movement on your path.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
So I hope you...
I wanted to ask you too, here recently, I really have had a strong spiritual awakening in myself again, and I've had several of them in my life. But this one felt so much more different. I feel like there's something I need to know, but I don't know what it could be.
I know you will be having some information inside. It will be also in that 2 years, because those 2 years are there for you to grow into your new path. And grow into your new path, that means you will grow into your spirituality. Okay. But I have to move on to our next caller, because otherwise she has less time.
Yes, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, and God bless.
Thank you very much. God bless you too, and have a great evening. So we have Mary from Cleveland, Ohio. Good evening, Mary.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you?
I am well, thank you.
Super. Do you have a question for me, or would you like to have me look generally at you? What would you like to wish?
I would like to ask you a question. It is about my job. I was very, very happy, and I loved what I did, or what I do. But lately, it has been a struggle. So I'm feeling that I need to leave, but I am unsure of what path I want to take.
Yes, let's see what I get through for you, because I don't feel really the struggle. So it means to me the resistance is not that big, and that means to me you already made some choices. So the resistance has been in your past, but I feel some sadness at your side, because to me it feels like you failed in this situation. It's the way you look at this situation. But I think this is the perfect point for you to move on to some other point in your life. Because this is the right moment for you to make a career switch. To me it feels because what I feel about you is you are very sensitive, you are a little bit insecure, uncertain, you are a very practical person. That's really good, because you can handle the earthly practical things very perfectly here. You are very structured, so you can you are very good in multitasking, so to speak. So that's perfect. What I feel, are you also guiding people or helping people in some kind of way? Because I feel I am blocking right now, because there is something inside you which is not coming out right now.
I'm not, I mean, where I'm at right now, I mean, I do help people, but I just don't know which way to go and what to do next.
Yeah, because do you take care of people in some kind of way?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what I feel, and you help people by taking care of them. So you are very good at what you are doing. So it's not a problem that the job is not good for you, but it is. It feels to me like the company where you are working, it feels to me like an old structure. So it feels to me like it's not comfortable for you. Your energy doesn't fit in anymore. You grew further, and that company just is standing still, in my opinion. So it's not growing with you. You need to move on, because you grew into your job, but you have more experience right now, and that experience may need to come out more. I also see a better monthly income, so your paycheck will be much better in the near future. I also see some resume on your site. Are you working on your resume? Because my guides show me your resume.
No, I keep putting it off. I keep procrastinating on it.
So you are working with your resume, but you are not working on your resume, because I see that piece of paper in front of me. I also get the communication on your resume, so that means in some kind of time frame there will be a communication about your resume. So that means your resume will be successful in the near future. So it will bring you to some other point. What I feel about your career, are you planning to be also self-employed?
I would like to be. I would like to do something so I could set my own hours and be more with my children.
Because I feel the reason I ask that is because I see the self-employment at your side. I see you will grow into that, so that means there are some finances which is necessary. Those finances will be there because of a job, because I still see another job on your side, but it looks to me like this job will be a part-time job. this job will also will be some kind of additional thing next to your self-employment. So you will be self-employed in the near future. That will be starting in the next year, I guess, because I think you will need to focusing yourself on a new job right now. Then you will be self-employed, then you will starting up your own business, so to speak. So your own business will be also helping and guiding people, because you can guide people very correctly. You have a very bright and beautiful energy. You are already helping people right now. You are taking care of people, but people are very fond of you because of the way you do your job. So you have a good connection with people, and your connection with people will be more improved. So, and that improvement on your connection with other people will be there because of your self-employment. I think you need to modify your resume, because I see your resume, it's a piece of paper which looks to me a little bit, I don't mean that negative, but it looks a little bit old-fashioned to me. So that means to me, like, you didn't put too much energy in your resume right now. Just make it a really structured resume. A little picture of yourself in the corner, your personal information, your work experience, and your education and your interest, your personal interest. If you modify that, you will notice you will get more interest from outside. So I feel a positive influence from outside, and then I see the communication for you for a new job.
Can I ask you, will that new job be in the same area that I'm doing, or am I going to go into a completely new career?
No, your new career will be your self-employment, but you will be doing the same thing, because it takes less energy from yourself, so you can put that energy into your self-employment.
Okay.
Because you are very good at what you're doing, and you need to proceed that to have a very easy monthly income, and you can start and create your self-employment.
Okay, that sounds great.
So,
thank you.
I need to say goodbye to you, otherwise we will be cut off.
All right, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mary.
All right, you take care.
Thank you, you too, and God bless you. Have a great evening.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And thank you all my listeners for listening to the Medium Garuda Show. And we will be back and rocking next week with a new Medium Garuda Show. Bye-bye.
This is Perry Lyons coming to you from, I'm in bed actually because I have a strep throat, so you're getting to see me in my jammies, see? And I went to a wedding, and people bring children to weddings, and the thing about children is children are petri dishes, and I've asked my friends to lightly boil their children before bringing them out in public. Sadly, they don't seem to comply with that. So welcome to my little bedroom here. This is my outfit. So before we start taking calls for your very important questions tonight, I wanted to talk a little about something that's been coming up in the last week. One of my biggest celebrity clients who is from such a famous family that's all I'm saying, called to say that he or she, keep anonymity, was having some ghost problems. This was not something I would expect to hear from this person. And then, so I told her what to do, and she got rid of the ghost. And then earlier that week, I went to Westchester to another celebrity client whose grandfather had passed, but he hadn't figured that out. So they asked me to come in and show him the way into the light. And here's how it works. If you ever have a ghost at home, which I hope you don't, because they're a little disturbing. I grew up with a ghost. So what was happening with the person, the celebrity in Westchester, is for 2 months after this old gentleman passed, the caretakers who were still living in the mansion would hear his steps going up and down the stairs. And then they would hear every day in a different room, they'd hear this huge crash. And it was a little disturbing. And they were very religious people, but they finally said, you know what, we don't understand what's going on here. So I got called in, and I had a feeling before I went, I didn't know anything about this gentleman, but I had a feeling he was a little bit of a ladies' man, right? So what I did was I got the girls out. I wore this very cleavagey bra. For those of you at home who are looking for a great bra, Victoria's Secret bombshell bra has better engineering than the Verrazano Bridge, although in my case, less commuter traffic. So I was wearing that, and I was wearing something low cut, and I asked people to leave the room. I played music, went in a trance, and asked for this gentleman, who appeared immediately and introduced himself. And then something happened that's never happened to me before. He asked me out. He said, so, how do you feel about steak dinners? I'm like, well, I like them, but why are you asking? And he said, well, a girl like you looks like she'd enjoy a nice juicy steak. I'm like, He said, so what about you and me? We're go out for dinner. Like, dude, we're going to have to get separate checks. There's something we're going to have to talk about here. Anyway, long story short, and usually when somebody says long story short, it's too late. But to make a long story short, he was scared to go into the light because he was worried about his kids. But there was a long-lost love that he did want to be reconnected with. So if you ever have to get rid of a ghost, just picture that golden shaft of light, ask them what they most want, and that's usually a good way to scoop them in. So he is back where he belongs. He's in the great hereafter. And now we have Tiara from my favorite city in the world, Sydney, where I lived for ages. Hi, Tiara. How are you? Can you hear me loud?
Yeah.
Hey, babe. What part of Sydney in?
Seven Hills.
Oh, nice. Cool. I used to live in Darlinghurst, so see you in Darlinghurst. So first, before we start, tell me your birthday.
April the 3rd, 97.
Cool. So you're in Aries. The moon's in Aries tonight, so there's a lot of great Aries energy. Tomorrow is a great day for you to get stuff done. And so tell me your question.
I don't really have a question.
Oh. Well, you seem like you have a lot of different talents, but you're a little, you haven't figured out that fear is the same energy in our bodies as excitement, right? So yeah. I think you're feeling right now like there's a lot you can do. You're just not sure which one to pick. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're pretty artistic. And you're you also have a talent that not many people know about. That sounds a little dirty, but let me rephrase that. I think you have a musical talent. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it something that you've taken out in public? Have you like sung or performed in public?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a direction that's got a lot of light around it for me. For you. Tilt the camera here, baby, so you can get a nice shot of used to be my cleavage. Okay. Okay, there we go. Hi. Okay. So it also feels like, I don't like to make heterosexual assumptions, but I'm going to say that there's a guy that you're really interested in. Sorry, things are going a little haywire here. How's that? Hello. Who you had a thing with, and now he's distant. Now he's with somebody else, but you still feel a vibe with him. Is that correct?
Not really.
Oh, well, not used to being wrong, but I'll take it. I do feel there's somebody you're interested in, and you're not sure what's going on with that. But yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was right in the general. So what my guides are telling me is that what it's all about for you right now is confidence. And that means taking risks that you don't want to take. So if you can go sit in on a jam with some friends, if you can go to, for instance, a place where you know this guy is going to be, well, I'm not advocating stalking here, but I think, A, you're a lot more beautiful than you know. You're going to disagree with me, but I'm going to disagree with you. Okay. Anyway, good luck with that. And who do we have next? Okay. While we're waiting for Tiara to get her phone line from Sydney, it's a long way. 2 Dixie cups, it's a long string. One thing that is really coming up with everybody I'm working with right now is that this is a time to take huge risks for everybody. I don't mean dumb risks, but if ever there's a time for you to live your dream, this is it. So the things you're scared to do, the person you're scared to ask out, all of that. It's a really important time for you to take risks in areas that you're not sure about. Obviously, I mean safe risks, if there's such a thing. I'm not advocating bungee jumping naked, although if you do that, send photographs. But I am advocating if there's somebody you care about, you haven't told him or her or them or it, this might be the time to say, hey, you know what? I have feelings for you. Because 9 times out of 10, that person is going to feel the same way. And then there'll be that one time when they might, file a restraining order, but just ignore that part. Mostly what I'm seeing, everybody I'm working with, and let me tell you, this past week, a bunch of A-listers, and they get just as insecure as the rest of us. I don't care how rich, how gorgeous, how successful you are. Nobody ever thinks that they're pretty enough, successful enough, or that they're ready. So don't wait until you're ready to take that big risk. Don't wait until you feel ready to go out and sing or go out and audition for a play or try out for a job that's bigger than you think you can do. This is the time. From now until, especially now until October 21st. Really, if you're listening to this, you're hearing this for a reason. Go take bigger risks than you're comfortable with. Tiara, are you back with us, baby? Oh, Sydney's a big place, so maybe she put her phone down. I can't find it. Feel free to call in. We've got a lot of really good energy going on today. And if you've ever had, oh, we've got Rachel in Queenstown, New Zealand, a place with great people. Hey, Rachel, how are you?
Hi. Hello, how are you?
Great. Oh, you live in such a great place. So when's your birthday, baby?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Sure. What day is your birthday?
Oh, the 2nd of June, 1971.
Oh. You sound very young. We love Capricorns. Okay, and do you have a specific question? Would you like an overview? Talk to me.
Yeah, just, oh God, I've got so many questions, and it's so weird because you just called me and I was just having a little breakdown, little cry actually after getting off the phone to my son. He's in a bad way and it's been stressing me out, so if anything like that comes up for him, that'd be awesome.
You know what, I'm not minimizing what he's going through, but it's one of those things that seems really terrible right now, but next week is going to be okay. He's kind of finding himself. And there's a lot of
finding himself.
Yeah. Because it feels to me like he was upset about an emotional issue, not because he hurt himself or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a financial thing actually, and I've been trying to give him all the help. I've exhausted my funds, and he's in Auckland now, and I just found a number for budget advice for him, and they can help him with the process of the asset. It's kind of like going bankrupt, but not. It's less than that, but it'll give him a fresh start. He's only 21, and anyway, he ended up, he's just talking to me really horribly, and it's been stressing me out for days, and you just try and help.
I think it's possible that there's going to be a job coming up. I mean, I'm not saying it's the world's best job, but if he can work like a side job, like in construction or something where he works really hard, makes a fair amount of money, gets out, he's got the connections to do that. And I think he's going to be okay.
Okay.
All right, sweetie?
I kind of feel like this is the life lesson for him as well, and that he just needs to make a call and start helping himself. I was giving him all the information, and he just ends up yelling down the phone at me and not listening properly. And I know he's just stressed, and he gets that foggy brain thing going on when he can't see a way out and is not listening properly, but he doesn't realise that. I just sometimes feel like he just doesn't appreciate the time and energy and the stress and the worry that I've put in for him when he behaves like that. Yeah.
Well, I don't think any of us appreciate when we're 21 anything, frankly. I think we appreciate it looking back. But he's going to be okay. I think the thing for you right now is, and this is the hardest thing, is to, not rescue him, create a bit of a boundary. So he rescues himself. Yeah. It's so hard. It's so hard because you just want to run in and grab them and fix them and make everything okay. But it's not in their best
this time, and he knows that. But he's, and I know that I said, look, Caleb, I haven't got money to help you this time because I literally don't. And but I've given him the info. I've called the budget service for him in Auckland. He just needs to make the call and set the appointment up and go through the procedure now and of insolvency. And even then, he wasn't going to call him today. And I'm like, well, you just have to make the call. And anyhow, sorry, you just called me in that exact moment. I just got off the phone to him.
Listen, it's your kid. There's nothing more important. There's nothing more important than that. Don't say anyhow. It's okay. And what it is an important lesson for him that he is going to have to be the person who saves himself. And that's, as a mother, it's so hard to take a step back and say, look, darling, I'll give you some sort of reward after you make those calls. Because
it's hard
he's
when
also
that he can't afford to buy food or pay rent, or it's just like, oh my God.
When he gets
he's
hungry
only just
enough,
gone up there.
he'll figure out a way to buy food.
That's it. Yeah. Cool.
I have one client who's been taking, her son is 60, and she's been rescuing him for, his entire life, hasn't done him any favors. So right now, what my guides are telling me is take a step back, put your guilt away. He's not going to starve to death. He's going to be okay. And going hungry for a night or two is a very fast way to learn. So step back and take care of yourself right now, because God knows you've got enough on your plate.
Thank you. I just need to know he's going to be okay.
Oh, he's going to be fine. And he's very attractive. People are always going to take care of him. I mean, it's almost a bit of a problem for him.
He is, I know all mothers say that their sons are super attractive, but he actually is. Oh my God, he looks like a Greek god.
Yeah, he's a stone cold fox. I can tell you that. One of my specialties is being able to see people I've never met. If I was 20 years younger, I'd be like, oh, why don't I just come to New Zealand and sort him out for you? So I mean, that's kind of the good news and the bad news. But he can be a little spoiled, not by you, but just sort of by the world. He's a very attractive guy, but he also is going to have to learn to make a living with one of the 3 career options that he's got open to him. So for you, the best thing you can do, and the hardest, not going to lie, is to step back and concentrate on yourself. So before you go, tell me one thing that you like to do for yourself that makes you happy. Do you like to go to a movie by yourself? Do you like to garden? Do you like to, I don't know.
I love to garden. I love to go on walks in nature because I live in one of the most incredible places in New Zealand. I really love to just take time out, and I did it. I had to the other day, actually. I hadn't done it for a while, and took my crystals down to the river and charged them, and had a meditation, and that was really good. And
you're very big nature. Yeah.
I'm actually a healer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's very strong. Because there's a lot of water in your energy. So usually I see a lot of water around people who have a lot of healing ability. You have a natural shamanistic ability, too. So, well, you do.
I'm a Reiki master, and I do integrative quantum medicine, and I work from home, and I'm a massage therapist, and I love all things that just, it does come naturally. I just tune in. But I've been struggling lately with my own stuff, and, I kind of feel like I need to study again, and I don't know the direction where to put that.
Anything you study will lead to the right thing. For you, because of the way you're a very open channel for energy, I would like you to start taking like a salt bath once or twice a week, because you're absorbing so much energy that it's making you a little like, which I know a little about. So put some kosher salt. I guess it doesn't have to be kosher, it can be Gentile. But little kosher salt, couple drops of lavender. Also, I'm going to be putting some artwork on my website that you can download. I'll put a picture of Archangel Michael, or you can go to my Instagram. I did a healing Archangel Michael artwork that you can download for free. Just print it out. It's on me. You need a little Archangel Michael energy in your life, Toots.
Actually, it's kind of interesting you say that because, sorry to interrupt. It's interesting you bring up Archangel Michael because he's one of the ones that comes in a lot. Like he works with me a lot, and when he comes in, it's with so much presence and like completely on a mission because the healings with my clients they've really stepped up a level recently, actually. But at the same time, and I'm seeing stuff I've never seen before on the table, and you're guided to just, direct the energy. But you see stuff as well, and Archangel Michael keeps Sonata, Archangel Michael, Saint Germain I work with a lot as well.
Saint Germain,
patterns forming.
Awesome, we love him. A lot of violet energy. What I'm going to ask you to do this week, you have an assignment. And your assignment is, A, have some fun. Go to the nursery, buy a nice shrub, plant it. That's my idea of fun. But or just have some fun, because you have a natural gift for joy. But it needs to be reawakened. Okay? So, Archangel Michael, you're his girl. He just likes you. So what I'd like you to also do is be open to your visual self. I'm a clairvoyant, which means to see clearly, but I was never a visual person. And it took, when I started getting flashes, I had to give myself permission to see stuff, to be visual. And sometimes all of you out there who are healers, who do Reiki, anything like that, give yourself permission to be open to other ways of knowing. And I'd really like to see what happens with you. So we've got about 30 seconds, but if you feel like calling in next week, your son's going to be fine. Boy, he's going to be fine. And
thank you.
I want you to have some fun because you're doing a lot of healing in your growth work, in your healing work. A lot of growth in your healing work, that's what I meant to say.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my passion. I get so much joy out of watching people expand and grow and just clear past lives. And oh my God, it's so profound. I love it. I live for it. And I've just got to tell you too, like, that's so weird, a validation for you, is I've been wondering why my visions haven't been as strong, and like, why can't I see? And you've just kind of brought that up.
That's what I'm here for. I'm a Reiki master too, and takes one to know one. Just give yourself permission, and the salt baths. If you can go dip your entire body in water, I mean, obviously you can take a shower, but natural water, that's important for you this week especially. And
funny, I've got the urge to jump in the river, but it's freezing.
Well, if I was going to say go jump in a lake, it wouldn't sound great.
Hi, I'm Anna Olson. This is Insights into Consciousness. You can reach me on my website, annaolsonintuitive.com. Today, I'm going to be doing a show on mediumship and a lot of questions that I get about mediumship. You can also, by the way, access this show on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn under A1R Radio. And you can also download the A1R Radio app on any operating system. You can also access this show, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, or WBWT 101.5 FM in Greenville, South Carolina. Or you can go to ask1radio.com and you'll see my bio there, and you can get information on how to get a reading if you call in. I'm also today going to give you information on how to win a free reading by me, a personal free reading, one-on-one with me. I'm really excited to give this away because I know that there are people who really want a reading and may not have the capability to do that right now. So I'm going to let you know how to do that. You're going to go to AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com. You're going to click on the upper right-hand little line thing on the right-hand side, and you're going to just go to my contact information. You're going to send me an email with the word medium in it, and I will enter you into a drawing to win a private reading with me on the phone or video or in person, whichever is most convenient for you or whichever you feel comfortable with. So I'm really excited to talk to you. I'm really excited to give you a reading in person. So today I'm also going to try to take a caller on the show live. This is always done live, and I never know who I'm going to get. It's very hit or miss. Don't know who's calling or what they're calling about. All I know is their first name and where they're from. So again, a little bit about me. I know I'm pretty new here, so I'd like to just give you a little information on what I do and why I'm here. I am a lifelong intuitive. I've been doing this since I was small. I've been able to connect with those who have passed. Had a lot of experiences where I've dreamt about things that are going to happen, or if someone is going to pass. I've also dreamt about that. Or I've told people or warned them about accidents, such as car accidents. And a lot of the times growing up, I've had friends that had the wide-eyed stare at me, and sometimes they're a little scared. But now, as an adult, it's been great because a lot of my friends are also intuitives. I've been able to find my people, or people just completely accept that that's the way it is. I'm also a Reiki practitioner, and I do space clearings. Again, if you'd like to reach me, my website is www.AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com. You can also read my bio on ask1radio.com if you'd like to see a detailed bio of me there. So my topic today is going to be on mediumship. How do I receive messages? This is a really common question, and I love to do readings for people. I'm happy to do readings for people if they feel more comfortable letting spirit come through with me. I am very happy to do so. I love to do it. There's so much healing that goes on. I sometimes end up crying so much that I'm a little embarrassed, but it's because it's a beautiful experience where I feel like heaven touches earth, and I'm always happy to do it. I'm always just walking away a better person, having learned more and having experienced more of this beautiful life that way. One of the things that actually happened today was when I did a reading, I was able to see somebody's friend that had passed through a domestic violence situation. So never talked to the person before about any of it. I think we had a brief conversation that she wanted a reading, and we scheduled, and that was it prior to the reading. So we start the reading, and she said that she'd like to connect with her friend that died. First thing I saw was, it's like a reel of film that goes across my mind's eye. I guess you could say it's kind of like if you're having a memory or you're seeing something or recalling something that you saw maybe on a TV show. That's one way to look at it, or to explain the experience. You kind of see things in your mind's eye. When I do it, I see things in my mind's eye. So the first thing I saw was her friend being assaulted by her husband. And she broke down and cried and said, yes, that's exactly what happened. And she needed some time to catch her breath. And then, of course, I got teary-eyed because I'm experiencing her grief and her tears. But at the same time, I know that it's wonderful because she's healing. And that's really what I want to get at with the mediumship. We should never have a bad relationship with the mediumship technique. It should be that mediumship is healing. Mediumship is a good experience. You walk away from a medium experience feeling healed, getting answers, and feeling more hopeful about your own life and about the person that passed when you're done. Another thing that happens with these readings is there's a reel. It's almost like a film reel that goes through my mind, and I can see everything. I can see the person, how they passed. I see, just from connecting with this person's energy on the phone or on video or in person, I connect with things that have happened in their lives or the person's life that passed. So most of the time, I can look at it as if I'm watching a movie, but it's more in a reel, kind of like it's passing through on a reel. And I can see it scene by scene as if I'm watching a movie, and I can describe the things that I'm seeing to the person. And today I was able to share with the person what their loved one was doing on the other side, what their dreams meant about that person. And one thing I wanted to cover specifically is when we have dreams after a person passes, how do we differentiate between a stress dream where we're processing trauma or grief and a dream where we are actually having an interaction with that person, with spirit? This is a very, very good question, if anybody's had this question. And I know I've had that question when I was starting out. Most of the time, if the dream is very stressful, you're waking up in a cold sweat, or you feel very just traumatized. If you're waking up in a cold sweat, you feel like you're processing, you're having a bad experience with it, or you're very, very upset when you have the dream about the past loved one. Usually that means that your brain is processing trauma. Your brain is going through a grieving process, which is a normal human reaction. It's the same as digesting food, or sweating when you get too hot, or getting goosebumps when you're too cold. It's what your nervous system does to process an emotional trauma. Usually these dreams are basically upsetting, traumatizing, or intrusive. When you're really connecting with the spirit of your loved one, and you've had, even if you've had not so great of an experience with them or relationship with them in your lifetime, it will feel more peaceful, natural, and like they're right there with you. Many people will dream about the person visiting them or being in another place with them. And I could go into the detail about how this happens. There's a lot of things like quantum physics that we know about the universe that scientists are learning more and more about every day. Basically, if it's a very vivid dream, or you feel very, very strongly after the dream, that was a connection with spirit, with the person in person. So these are things that a lot of people really want to know. So I'd love to cover some of these subjects and these topics so that people can kind of do their own work, and people can kind of work on their own intuition so that they can end up having a better relationship with themselves in the way of learning about their higher selves, how they receive messages from spirit, how they connect with their guides, how they connect with their own angels, so that, not only do we help them as readers or intuitives, but they can start to learn to trust themselves and learn to do this on their own. And everybody has different gifts, different ways that they've developed their intuition. There's about 12 senses that human beings have. So we have our 5 senses. Those are the ones that we're taught in school about, in our science class. Sight, sound, taste, smell, the 5 senses. So those are part of our bodies, and that is very focused on our physical self. So when we actually have these intuitions and we think it's kind of amazing, to an intuitive, it's more natural, but to a lot of people who are not as learned on how to use your intuition, although I believe everybody is to some degree, and maybe they blocked it out or they weren't listened to when they were younger because their parents were afraid that they'd sound a little out there, which is understandable. Well, a lot of the times these other senses, in addition to the 5 that add up to 12, they're basically things that you would know right offhand what you have or what you've had more practice with. For instance, sometimes people can smell when someone's near, like their grandmother's perfume, and suddenly they'll smell it and they'll know that their grandmother's with them. That's one sense. Of course, we know that that is also one of the 5 physical senses, but that is in addition an intuitive sense. Sometimes when I've done readings, I have lost my eyesight for some time because I needed to give a message to the person that I was doing the reading for that they were not losing their vision, that they were having migraines. Or, there's so many different ways spirit comes through. Physical is one of them in all of our 5 senses, and then there's other senses as well. So in the future, I'm going to delve into those more, but mediumship is one all-encompassing, very deep level of intuition that most people have had some sort of experience with, whether it be going into a building and feeling presence of spirit in some way because maybe somebody had passed there. Or it could be that they had a loved one or a friend pass and they experienced feeling their presence, or they seem to be getting symbols or different signs that their loved one was around, such as butterflies, that's a common one, or hummingbirds, birds, things that fly tend to be a good one, or any sort of nature, could be flowers, could be a type of church or certain religion. So the signs and symbols are as vast as the possibilities are just incredible. So these are all little bits and pieces of mediumship. It goes much deeper than that. But basically, what I'd like to touch on is that mediumship is mostly connecting with spirit in a telepathic way. And it's usually not explained by mediums because most people don't understand, but I'd love to explain it a bit, that you're receiving, what it is you receive messages in pictures, words, smells, and physical senses through spirit as a way of communication when they are no longer in a physical body. And the only way for them to do that with their spirit at that point is telepathically. Now, some people hear things as if, messages from spirit as if they were listening to somebody in the same room. And I myself have not had that experience, but many people have. So this can go many different ways. And I would also love to delve into it deeper with many people who seem to be interested in developing their gifts as either their mediumship gifts or just asking questions about, what does this mean? I had this experience. Can you help me understand this? So basically, I'd love to get classes going on for people who want to develop these senses or to make sense out of these senses. It's basically an Intuition 101 class. And I'd love to start this online and in person. So again, I'll be posting these classes, the series, on my website at annaolsonintuitive.com. And that's where you'll be able to find that in the near future. You can also message me on my website to inquire about these classes. So I'd like to take a caller to do a reading real quick, a reading live here. So I don't have the name. What is the name? Lori?
Lori. Mm-hmm.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. So it looks like we have a few more minutes. What can I do for you?
It seems that a lot of things have been going downhill lately, and I was just wondering when they were going to turn around.
Okay. Okay. Is there a specific topic that you'd like to focus on? Or is it just you want to know like the universal consciousness?
Just general, like I've lost 2 cars, and it just seems like since then everything's been going downhill.
Okay. Was this in the last 2 months?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is really interesting that, a lot of people are having a hard time right now. And I know that my last caller last week was also really losing connection with spirit and things like that with her intuition. And you're touching on, I think, the same thing. We have, in astrology right now, we have many planets in retrograde. In the past 2 months, we've had the longest eclipse in the 21st century. We've also had 5 planets in retrograde, including Mercury. Now, in the mid-September range, these things are going to start to straighten out again. And some people feel it a little bit more than others. But I want you to know you're not alone. I've been hearing this in my readings. I've been seeing it all around me. It's not just you. It's not you targeted specifically. This is a universal consciousness, and it's a ebb and flow of the planetary system and how it affects us and our behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And it should start to get better mid-September. So I know it still feels really heavy right now. People have been really dealing with a lot of things emotionally with, processing trauma, processing grief. But there's a lot of good that's going to come out of this. It's kind of like taking a long nap energetically, and then you wake up refreshed. So
that's what happened. I took a nap, and I woke up, and my van got hit, and it went downhill from there.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so you literally took a nap. And woke up in your van.
I literally never take naps, but I took a nap, and my husband woke me up and said the van was hit, and I lost 2 cars in one day. And the things have been cycling down, and now my daughter's house is, the basement was being fixed, and they spread mold through her house, and we're trying to go through a lawsuit with that, and I don't know how that's going to pan out. We have a new baby on board with that, and she's living with us, and I don't know how that's going to pan out, and it's just one thing after another. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happened in the middle of it, which I won't, go into, but it's just every day there's something different. So,
yeah, that is a good explanation of what people have been experiencing over, especially the last month to 2 months. So really, I want to give you a little, some hope here that this is going to really straighten out soon, and not to worry that this will get better. I feel like you are very influenced by the planetary goings on, the moon. How do you feel during full moon? Do you pay attention to that much, or?
Oh yeah, because usually it's 3 days before, during, and after that things like go on, and I do connect to my dreams. I can see things that are going to happen. Like I'll dream about it and it happens, or I can tell you like what happened. I can feel people. I can tell people about their loved ones. I'm connected like that. Mm-hmm. But I just can't seem to get out of this funk. Like it seems like this black cloud is just looming over, as I call it.
I understand. I hear you. And one way to look at this so that you're, even just on a psychological level, to relieve stress, is to look at it in a way of, this is a way of processing. And once your processing time period is through, you're going to be able to start new. So as difficult it is to lose 2 vehicles that you probably really depend on and you really need in your life, as hard as it is to lose them, the way to look at it in this scope is to say, what new car do I get? And, out with the old, in with the new. You're just going to focus on these really positive things that's going to come of these downfalls and these stumbles. So new car, we get to find a new place to live. It's to look forward to the rebirth and to the next chapter. And that's really what is happening. It's uprooting the old, it's uprooting the subconscious, it's uprooting all the things that are traumatic. And what we do is look forward to what's coming, the rebirth, the new stuff. And the issue with this is, same way in a harvest, you're going to sow the earth, the plants grow, you reap the harvest, and it's barren after that, but then you replant. It's an ongoing process. This is a process of basically loss and then regrowth, as is the seasons of life. And I'm really getting the wheel, the wheel. I don't know if you're familiar with tarot, but like the wheel of life, it has to do with seasons coming and going, rebirth, replanting, and I see good things coming for you. So, I like to see it more as, okay, we get the new, we get the rebirth.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we are having some storms in the production area, so I just wanted to say sorry if there are any interruptions in the recording. Are there any other things that I can help you with, or do you have any other questions or anything else you'd like to focus on?
I just wanted to know if also my daughter's house would be resolved on a positive note versus a total loss.
I feel like her house is going to need a lot of renovations, and that's going to be a decision that she's going to have to make. I just want to highlight the fact that there are cheaper ways to do it than she realizes right now. So I think that they're looking into having somebody do it, and they need to get a few different people to look at it to offer different ways. But that there could be a much cheaper way to do it, and to have
somebody
a
came
few
in
opinions.
to do it, and they did it wrong, and they took a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to decide whether to press forward with the lawsuit because they did it wrong and caused a lot of damage.
Mm. I'm so sorry.
That's
terrible.
what we're trying to decide. Yeah, they spread mold through the house by not knowing what they were doing.
Wow.
So we're trying
that's
to
a choice
decide
that she
whether,
has to make.
Yeah.
That's a hard decision, and that's her decision to make. But I really feel like somebody else could come in and take care of that mold for much cheaper than she realizes. We have just a minute left, so thank you so much for calling, and I hope everything works out. Don't worry, the good's coming. I promise.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Take care.
I guess that's it for tonight, and we will see you next week on Thursday at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.
Hi, I'm Asiya, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hello, welcome. It's Tuesday evening, and on Vancouver Island, I'm Terry Lynn Boyle, the Vancouver Island medium, and this is Vancouver Island. Actually, this is Nanoose Bay, but it's on Vancouver Island. So, it's part of Vancouver Island. It's like a bit, look it up, Google it, Nanoose Bay. Woo, perfect. So, I always talk about my week, right? And this has been a week, let me tell you. I had a good time yesterday. I went shopping for the store. Excuse me. Last week I wasn't feeling so well, and it's kind of one of those things that keeps coming back. So it's like, ugh. So I'm kind of tired today. Pardon me if I don't have the extravagant energy that I am supposed to have. And one little thing that I do want to point out as I clear my throat, pardon me, is that this little guy that's in my headphones, he lives in there. His name's Dave. He's my producer. He's just such an awesome and especially wonderful kind of guy. I know he loved that one. I have been saying this wrong. I've been saying, come to airpsychicradio.com. And it's not what it is. It's A1R Psychicradio.com. I was very kindly informed of that. And I went, yeah, I know that. But it didn't click. Right? So, there you go. How was your week? Mine was good. I think I already asked you that, but that's okay. I tend to ask things 2 or 3 times. I want to make sure I get the same answer. Mine was good. I feel that every day that you learn something is a good day, no matter what it is you learn. And so, and this past week I was kind of, I don't know how to explain that. Like, I don't know. My ego I had an ego check this week. That's what we will call it, okay? So I own a store called the Amethyst Forest. It's a beautiful little store. It has a spiritual spa with it. So if you're ever on Vancouver Island, stop by in Nanaimo. And I'm there, or somebody will be there to help you. We'll have a good time. Anyway, so I have a Facebook page for that, and I also have a Facebook page for Vancouver Island Medium. And every so often, I go on and I say, okay, who's been talking about the Amethyst Forest, and so I did that the other day. And there was a post on a page there on Facebook that said someone was in search of a psychic medium for a reading. And somebody put my name down, Terry Lynn Boyle, Vancouver Island Medium. And it was just, I went, oh, cool, somebody did this. And then right under that, someone said, somebody said, oh, she's really, really good or something. And then somebody said, I would have to disagree. Now, I don't know who this person was. Of course, I know the name because the name was there. But it cut me. It was like a knife in my heart. Like, oh, somebody doesn't think I'm good. They don't think that I'm a good psychic medium. Seriously? Oh. And I got really upset. And I thought, oh, I should call them and give them a free reading, and prove to them that I know what I'm doing and I am good at this and blah, blah, blah. I didn't. I had an ego check. I went, I am not all-knowing. I make mistakes just like everybody else. What I do, I know that I'm good at it. I know that I help people. But I am also try to be very humble. And when my ego gets a check like this, it's like, ooh, okay. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. This is one of the things about being outside is because the seagull just came right here and I can see it, but you can't. And it kind of scared me. So I was like this and I kind of totally lost my train of thought. But anyway, so when this happened, I really had to give my ego a check, and I had to realize it's okay. Not everybody likes me, and that's okay because I like me. And I'm okay with that. So I guess what I'm trying to get to here is that not everybody has to like us. We don't have to try and please everyone. When it comes to psychic mediums, there are so many of us out there, so many talented, wonderful people who can speak with those on the other side who have an awakening and opening to this kind of knowledge, Are they perfect for everyone? No. There's been, lots of people that I can't read, or a handful of them anyway. And so I just went, what? This was an ego check for me, and I'm so glad that I got this because I learned today that it doesn't really matter that one person says, I'm not very good at what I do, because there's 10 people standing behind her that say I am. So even with that, it doesn't matter because I am who I am, and I know who I am. So I like me, and that's how it should affect me, not my ego. I really hope I haven't completely confused everyone, but it was a wonderful lesson for me, and I'm so glad that I had it. What I want you to do is think about how people mean things, because on text message or messenger or, Snapchat or whatever it is, you may be taking it the wrong way. Okay, so if you have an issue with something that someone has said and you can't get over it, then call them and say, hey, did you mean it this way or did you mean it that way? It's a lack of communication. Don't allow it to compost and start problems that don't need to be there and drama. Okay? That's my soapbox for today. We're over and done with that. I think we should get on to some readings and talk to, who are we talking to first? Oh, we're talking to Barbara in Kelowna. Barbara, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, good. In Kelowna. We don't know each other, do we?
We don't.
What's that?
No.
No. Well, that's too bad, because it would have made this reading a lot easier,
Yeah, no, we have never met. I was on Facebook, I guess. I was on Constance's thing, and she invited me to come onto this. So I have accepted that, and here I am.
Lovely. That's wonderful. So, and for all of you that are not in Canada, Kelowna is here in BC, but it's on the mainland. And what is Kelowna? Probably about 5 hours from Vancouver?
Yeah, that's about right, for sure.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, if you're ever on the island, make sure you stop in Nanaimo.
Oh, yes, I love it over there. I'm from Vancouver, so, yes.
Oh, then you've been here lots. You've been on the island lots.
I have been there. It's beautiful. I love it over there. Yeah.
So, Barbara, how can we help you tonight?
Well, I guess I'm here for my reading, so I'm just wanting to see what kind of things you could pick up of, I don't know, I'm open to anything. I actually do study a lot of different, speaking to the other side or something that maybe you can just let me know sort of things. I've been going through some big changes, so I just would like some insight too.
Now I have, I feel that you're very highly vibrational. And by that, do you know what I mean by that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Are you a reader?
I read, usually for myself and some friends.
Right, because
I've always used this self-development and started with a lot of crystals and all of that kind of rock healing and things when I was very young. And they've sort of come and gone through my life. And as I ended up more in corporate positions due to finance, right? So it's coming back to me, absolutely. That's sort of the true essence of my character or soul or what have you. And, but I don't currently, read for anyone specific or what have you.
Okay, so I asked you that, or I told you that I feel that you should be a reader. I think that the little bit that you're doing for your friends and for yourself is your comfort zone. And while we are in our comfort zone, we never progress, correct? So get out of your comfort zone. And, maybe if you just want to, well, come to Nanaimo and I'll put you in the Amethyst Forest. You can do $10 readings just to play. But I think that that's something that you should really think about. Also, now, have you had a career change, or are you looking at that?
Well, yes, I have. So I am currently unemployed and looking for employment.
So by leaving this last position, it was one of the best things that could have ever happened to you. I want you to know that. This is going to get you out of your comfort zone. And I feel like you're a person who is very, I don't want to say connected to money, but you like to live comfortably, which there's nothing wrong with that. I do too, right? I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. And what I am saying is that I don't see a change there. Like I see maybe a little bit leanness, but I don't see anything to be freaking out about. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just keep that part of it calm in your mind, because if you don't want to come from a place of lack, right? So just know that the work would be there. Also, now, do you know what Reiki is?
I do.
Are you a Reiki master? Because that comes up very strong for me with you.
I have actually done 2 levels, and it was a while ago. So I did my level 1 and 2 certification for it. I do feel that I'm definitely in the hands-on healing realm.
Yeah, I see you as, like, I see Reiki, but I see you combining that with crystals and just your intuition, and in doing that. And I see you very successful at it. In fact, you already do it. Do you work for hospice, or do you go in and volunteer for hospice or something, or working with pain management for Reiki? Look into it.
No, I don't.
Because you would. Yeah. Look into that, because a lot of times, I know here in Nanaimo we have every place they have pretty much a hospice community now, but the hospice association here in Nanaimo will go and volunteer and do Reiki for the cancer patients. So So
that's
I kind of
good.
feel like
That's interesting to know. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to do that again or go to, I'm very, attracted to that type of healing. And when I was young, I used to do that on my own self for all sorts of different things. And I do believe very much in the power of all that stuff. So,
yeah, and I think that you're
a
on
lot
the
of my friends say that is an area to go into, but I fight with the corporate idealist life and the, I don't know, believing in yourself life, I guess, is sort of the duality there.
That usually happens, and you don't take much time for yourself either, or at least you haven't in the past. I hope that you've changed that now that you've done the career change. Just a question, were you in like finance, like banking or accounting or something?
I was not. I was in sales.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know, I get this all about this money and numbers around you from a past career, so I would say that that's what it was. But hey, like I said before, I'm not all-knowing. I get things wrong.
That's all good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I also, have you recently your relationship status also?
Well, it's going through hell, yeah. It's really in a time of transformation, and my husband's having some major trouble.
Right.
And so hopefully we can get that sorted so that I can sort of focus on my own life, because I do feel I've been looking after him and his daughter. So,
yeah. And this is something that has been very difficult for not just a couple months. This has been going on for a bit.
That's right.
Correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see happiness, though, coming. Whatever the decision is that the two of you have made, I feel that there is happiness. I do feel very strongly, though, about your relationship, that there's a really big, huge lack of communication in it. And
totally.
I don't know that it was necessarily on your side. I kind of feel like he's kind of closed off.
He has.
Yeah. So, Barbara, you're going to have to be who you need to be, and you're going to have to, you do you should be your mantra for the next little while here.
Yeah, for sure. I hear you. I see that.
Yeah, because it's time for you to start concentrating on yourself and start working towards what you need in your life and who you truly are, and putting yourself on the front burner instead of always having yourself on the back, because everybody else's needs are more important than yours. Okay?
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going through. Yeah.
Okay, so all I can say right now is to keep your head up. Don't move forward in fear, okay? Worry is fear. Fear is the lowest vibration, okay? That's not anything that you need or want.
Mm-hmm.
So live in your own vibration, control your own emotions, and don't look down. Just keep moving forward, because I feel like you have the world in front of you. Just allow it to happen.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. I feel that some of my old gifts, or just coming back into myself, I think more, I can already feel that starting to happen by making the change to change career and to making the change to ensure that some changes are made in the home front, right? So, I do feel very, I'm ready for the change, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, thanks so much for calling in, Barbara.
Yeah,
and
thank you so much.
I hope the weather gets, it's not smoky in Kelowna right now, is it?
No, it's trying to roll back in, somebody said, but it's been a breath of fresh air, quote, here for a couple of days, thank God. Open up all the windows, because we've been in lockdown here in the smoke for quite a while.
Yep.
Yeah,
I hear
for
you.
sure.
I know.
But
Yeah.
it's getting better.
So-
How is it in Nanaimo?
Nanaimo, we have been really smoky for about a week, and then about the last 3 days, it's been really great. I did notice, though,
Yeah,
I
good.
look back over here, and I can see this. I can see the smoke kind of coming in a little bit. So, but it's been tough. It's been pretty bad for the BC or the fires this year. Really.
Oh, I know. Okay, for sure.
Anyway.
Well,
So-
anyway, blessings to you, and thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and it was, it just kind of spontaneously came up with me addressing that with her, and so I'm glad that you called, for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Barbara. I'll talk to you soon,
care.
okay?
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Always nice to talk to people right here in Canada and in BC. And I actually could have sat there and said, hey, do you know Holly at Shawanda's in Kelowna? I know her. And I have other friends in Kelowna too. But anyway, do you understand when I say highly vibrational what that is? That means that you work a lot in your higher vibrations. We're all made from vibrations. And the higher vibration you have, the more you work on things, right? Or not the more you work on things, the more you work on things. Anyway, I hear we have Jeanette back. Jeanette, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Oh, hello. I'm good, Jeanette. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. You're in Fort Lauderdale?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Yes, in Florida. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very nice. How can I help you tonight, Jeanette? Excuse me.
Yeah, I have a question about my present relationship and about my love life.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about this present man? Present or past, whatever.
Yeah. I feel that, have you been with this man 2 years?
8 years.
And you guys are not married?
No, we are not married. No.
Right. I don't feel that this man is a bad man, but a bad man, I don't mean it like, oh, he's a bad man. I don't feel that I don't feel that this is an equal relationship. Okay?
If this is what?
An equal relationship? Like,
yes, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so when I say that, how do I explain this? It's like an equal relationship, but with both sides working. Everybody, I'll put 50% in, you put 50% in, right? And I feel like you tend to put a little bit more than 50% in, and he doesn't put quite as much.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand that?
In which sense?
In the sense of the relationship itself, on a daily basis, okay? But I feel like this is a good guy. I don't feel like you two, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh my God, he's horrible. Leave him. This has kind of been the scoop for tonight, is lack of communication in a relationship is the death of a relationship. So,
so this is like over, you mean?
No, I don't think it's over at all. I think that the two of you need to learn to communicate better, because sometimes I feel like you don't tell him things that you should tell him, that you just hold it back in because it's easier, then you don't have an argument or whatever. So I feel like you need to speak up more in the relationship. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? I feel like this is
together.
Yes, I feel like it's a good relationship, but I feel like you have to speak up more in the relationship.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
How about emotion? This is like an emotional, strong relationship, or not really?
I'm sorry, is it an emotional relationship or what?
Yeah, like a love relationship, or just, the relationship.
Well, isn't this your love life that we're talking about? I'm talking about this man.
This is like a loving relationship.
Yes.
Do you see love in this relationship?
Yes, I do see love in the relationship. I don't feel that you speak up enough, though. I feel like there's a lack of communication in the relationship, and you don't I don't feel like you get to say what you need to say. I believe that the two of you can have a very good relationship. I believe that you are in a place right now to where things are a little bit difficult because you've been together for a while. I don't know that he allows you to speak, or that you don't speak up enough for what you want in the relationship. Yes, I do believe he loves you. But I believe that you need to communicate to him what you want out of the relationship. Okay? I hope that that helps. Sorry, I've got something. Sorry, there I am. All better. Okay. So I hope that that helps. Remember that love, an unconditional love, okay? Your heart chakra here, your heart. You open up your heart and you say, you know what? I love you. I love you no matter what you do. Like, we can work things out. We can talk it through it, you know, other than, you know, murder or whatever is the one thing that you can't deal with in a relationship, or that you say, no, that's the bottom line there. No more after that. But you open it up and you love unconditionally. You communicate, and you should never be, you know, intimidated by your spouse or by your partner. This should be an equal relationship. And when I say an equal relationship, I mean that if there's something I don't want to happen, I go to my husband and say, let's not do that, okay? And then if there's something that he doesn't want to happen, he'll come to me and say the same thing. Or if we don't, then it happens and I'm mad, he's mad. That's where the lack of communication. Okay? So remember, no matter what you're doing, the communication is key. Okay? I've got about a minute 45 left here, a minute and a half. Okay? So I'm just going to tell you who I am, where you can find me, okay? I'm Terry Lynn Boyle. I am on Vancouver Island, and I'm known as Vancouver Island Medium. You can get me on Facebook, Instagram as Vancouver Island Medium, Twitter, I think I'm on this Terry Lynn Boyle, Snapchat, Terry Lynn Boyle. So either type in Terry Lynn Boyle or Vancouver Island Medium, and you're going to find me. And if you can't find me that way, Amethyst Forest. I do Skype readings and all kinds of good stuff. So you can call us at the Amethyst Forest at 250-585-4922. Mention that you heard this on A1R Psychicradio.com, and you'll get 10% off of the reading. Okay? 250-585-4922, Amethyst Forest, Terry Lynn Boyle, Vancouver Island Medium. 10% off if you mention A1R Psychicradio.com. I will be here. Oh, I'm not here I'm going camping. So you folks have a wonderful week, and I'm going to go camping Thursday morning. I will see you next week, Tuesday. Same bat place. Same, I guess it's a medium place. Same medium place. Same medium channel. Same wonderful medium producer. You know, we're all good. Have a wonderful week, people. Mwah.
Alrighty. Hello, welcome to Wren and Friends, Psychic Talk Radio. I'm your hostess, Psychic Medium Mary Beth Wren, and I'm just checking to see if my volume was even up. But thank you and welcome to the show. It's been an interesting day for me so far, so I'm feeling a little bit low energy. So I hope that I'll feel the love from my listeners and boost up my energy here for tonight. Now, this show is meant for you always. And this is the show where I read you live on the air. Nothing scripted, nothing pre-called. Anybody who gets in is supposed to be getting in at this certain time. So I realize there are a lot of people out there that say, I'm always there at 8 o'clock and I call in, but I don't get through. I realize it's like playing the lottery. You will get through when you're meant to get through. And I will read whomever comes on to the show with me at that moment. As I said, I don't pre-screen calls, nothing of the sort. I like to keep my readings fresh and right there. And as you can see with other radio programs for the like last week's program, or maybe the week before, I did a reading for a woman in England. Next thing you know, lo and behold, I happened to be connecting in with the father, a deceased father of the next caller who was calling in from Canada. Look, anything's possible in the psychic world, I suppose. Also, when I read, a lot of times I'll use tarot cards, and I'm pointing at this application now. I'm going all fancy here. An application on the phone. But when I see the tarot cards, a lot of times I suddenly get these flash visions, and they flood my mind. And as they flood my mind, I come up with more details than what I would just see in the tarot cards, such as seasons or dates and times or people. I'll actually get names, places, dates, personalities, and what have you. So, as I always say, Dave, I'll usually give me about 2 minutes before my first first wonderful caller. So, just to give you some ideas what's going on in my life, I always like to promote my book. I have 2 books. My first book is called Soul's Goals, and still to this day I'll say I'm promoting my book, Soul's Goals. But I mean to say I'm promoting my book, The Good Morning. It's over my shoulder, but today I brought it closer to the camera. Now, I know it's kind of glary here, but my lighting's not so hot. But let me see if I can move that light. If you could read that, it says, Good Morning. I still can't see the glare. Let me see here. This is what you get with live TV and cable. Cable, what am I thinking? Okay, yeah. Guess who used to work in cable 35-some years ago? I meant to say internet. Yes, I used to work like channels where you would see shows like Wayne's World. Yeah, local origination. This is Good Morning, and it is play on the words, Good Morning. Let me bring it to the camera here. I hope you can see it. If not, maybe Dave and his magical video editing equipment can sharpen the picture, make it not look so glary. But it's called Good Morning, and it's tales from the other side. Not tales that will scare you. It's basically stories of comfort. So when you go to sleep at night, you know you're not alone, and you're loved, and you're embraced and comforted. But it's also stories about get you up out of bed in the morning. Face the day, but most importantly, create a day. Create a day of compelling, inspiring, compassionate connections with people. So, if you're interested in joining us at the chat room tonight on, I believe it's A1R at Facebook, Shelby is handling the chats, I hope. You can always call in at the radio program or TV program here. And the 800 number is 1-888 1-888-454-2751 1-888-454-2751. And I believe he just if I said Dave just flashed me, I didn't mean that way, but Dave just told me on Facebook. I believe it's Psychic Radio. So is it Facebook.Psychic Radio? Or is it Facebook? I'm so sorry. Do you think I should know this? Yeah, I should know this. Wait a minute. See if I'm reading my notes here. That's right. Facebook. Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Let me spell psychic for you, because you know why? Some people like to spell psychic like you say physics. So it's P-S-Y, Psychic, C-H-I-C. P as in Paul, S-Y as in yellow, C-H-I as in Igor, C as in Charlie. Psychic. So it's Psychic Radio. So it's Facebook.com, Psychic Radio. Let me ground my energy. As I said, I just kind of needed some love from my audience tonight. I've had some sort of bittersweet news this morning, so I'll get through it. I'm strong. I always say if it doesn't kill me, it makes me stronger. So hopefully you guys will never go through what I'm going through. Ever. Hopefully. Okay. Jane, hello. Southfield,
Hi.
Michigan. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, your energy's beautiful. You know, before you get started, let me tell you. I said your energy, I read auras. I see energy fields around people. And that's how I see your color, your aura is my medium to your world, if you will. Like a television set is how people see the world and watch the news if they want to watch news. Where Facebook is a medium to socialize with other people. Well, your aura is your walk-in social media to me. So I see auras, but I see auras impressionistically, not with my eyes, but with my inner eyes. Does that make sense?
Sure,
anyhow, your auras, it's very turquoise. It's green and it's blue, and then it blends together. I think of like a really, it's really pretty. Now, when I look at a turquoise aura, I think of a person who is artistic, or a person who could be into photography or interior designing, and that's where I want to go. I hear the word house, interior designing, decorating, so I see like remodeling, fixing things up. Are you doing this currently, or do you do this as a job, I hope?
Well, not as a job, no. Twofold. One, I'm a writer.
Okay, that would be the blue.
Two, I just bought a place about 1.5 years ago, and I am painting my daughter's room currently.
And that's why your aura is turquoise for me tonight.
Starting to do the repairs, but yeah, I am in the middle of painting and that sort of thing.
It is showing through your aura field. I know this sounds kind of interesting for me to say, but I know you're painting, so make sure you draw within the lines, but don't let your mind stay within the lines. So I want you to get creative. So instead of just coloring like in solid color, I'm getting the impression of, and I'd seen this recently, where a person had painted the walls yellow, but at the top they actually painted in what looked like growing grass, or as if it felt like you were out in the field even though you were inside the house. It was the prettiest thing I've ever seen. So I feel like I'm wanting to tell you to get creative within a neat way. Does that make sense?
This is exactly what we did. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No,
I did a city landscape for her bedroom, and then in her closet I built the shelf and the turning into like a mountain, sort of like a cabin area where we're putting trees and things like that for her to kind of have an escape place.
Yes. I love
it very much
that.
is that.
I hope you put that on Pinterest or one of the Instagram, Snapchat, social medias with lots of pictures. Because I feel that a lot of people will imitate your artwork. You know what they say, imitation, lowest form of flattery. Yada, 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 yada. I get it. But I really feel if you ever have a writer's block, start painting. Or for that matter, I want to say hide in your kid's closet.
I know.
So when you come out of the closet, you're right.
Yeah, it is a comfortable place now. It didn't used to be so much.
I'm sorry, I kind of, if you watched me on television just now, I just kind of drifted off, and I certainly didn't mean to not pay attention to you. I just got a vision as I was speaking to you. I get the impression that you'll have vignettes of little novelettes that are all compiled together, as in, they may be fictional stories, but I feel like they're stories or novelettes that could stand even outside themselves as one story at a time. Instead of interlinking chapters, they can be all integrated as one book, but I feel like each chapter could stand alone.
I am writing a book to choose your own adventure, so it is different things, but it's all integrated, yeah.
send your treatment to something like Reader's Digest. Or is there a kids' Reader's Digest? I know senior citizens. Look at my hair. But is there a kid? There used to be a magazine many years ago called Highlights magazine.
I
And it was
loved
for
that
children.
magazine, yeah.
Do they, if they still have something like that, even if it's on Kindle? See, everybody, there's an app on Kindle, tarot card app. So maybe you could be an ebook on Kindle. I love Kindle. That's why that bookshelf is now blank, because everything's on Kindle. Okay, so I made a book. Here's my problem. I can't see the print too well, so I use Kindle.
Yeah.
But I digress. Because Jane, and it's funny, I want to say, is Jane not your name? I don't know why I want to say, I feel like I'm saying a stage name or a middle name.
It actually, that's not actually my real name. It was given to me as a nickname when I was 15, and all my friends my family call me Jane, so I always go by that, but it's not my legal name.
For some reason, I want to say use your legal name as your brand name or production company, publishing company name. So like if your name is something unique, I'm thinking like Omira. I'm coming up with something with Oprah with Omira in it. So something not Omarosa. No, not her. But something that seems unique.
Okay.
I think you will. Here goes the visions again. Not only will you be featured in something like Highlights magazine, but I get the impression that you're going to help other authors. Okay, I know. I hear a production, not that Dave's telling me this, but in my mind, I hear the old TV producer saying, never close your eyes on TV. All right, so I'll stare at you. You're going to help other authors get their published works out there. So consider yourself, or consider to be a production team, a media team of some kind, or have a business partner with that. Now, if your question is about a baby...
I'm sorry?
I said, now, if you have a question about a baby, I've got to tell you, I see another one on the way. I don't know if you're planning on this one. Are you talking
about? I was never planning on any, and I had one.
Oh. I think
I was on birth control, and actually a psychic is the one I found out from the psychic that I was pregnant. The doctors couldn't figure it out, and I finally went and saw an energy reader, and she's like insisted. I'm like, there's no way. And she was right.
Are you sure you weren't on antibiotics while you were still on the pill?
No, and I have endometriosis. I have a whole world of problems. They told me it would never happen. So if there's another one coming, it better be a grandchild and not mine.
Okay,
but that's
maybe it's a grandchild.
Could possibly be like a stepchild, like turn into marriage with someone that has a child.
Yeah, it certainly could be. Because the impression is, I get a vision of a 3-year-old. Oh, shoot, I was seeing a girl, now I saw a boy. Maybe these are friends of yours. I don't know why, but I feel like I have to tell you there's a baby in your future. So let's hope it's a grandchild, or let's hope it is a friend of a friend that you're helping. Just that they're asking, hey, ask the psychic if I'm going to get pregnant. I'm trying to get you off the hook. Oh boy, there goes the visions again. I just heard the word Ruth, R-U-T-H. So if her name's not Ruth, could it be Rita? Could it be something that rhymes with Ruth? Could her last name be Booth? Leaving it at that. Just hear the word Ruth. Hold up. I've been known to pick up on the spirit world when they will just spontaneously poof, come in. Surprise, surprise. So I'm going to ask you if you have an Aunt Ruth on your mom's side of the family, and I feel like I have to say baker. So I wonder if her profession was a cook, a baker, food. Well, okay. I'm hearing.
To be honest, I'm not sure. I really didn't know a whole lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not certain.
Well,
my father's mother was Rosemary, but that's the only R that I can think of.
Okay,
close.
I might be having one of these weird moments. Okay, you're never going to believe this. If I have the time to read the next person, and she gets on the air, maybe she knows the Ruth, but this is going to blow your mind, Jane. The next person who's coming onto the show, if she can get in, her first name is Rosemary, and she's from Australia. And you just said to me, do you have an aunt, Rosemary? Yeah. Like, wait a second. Yeah. I might be having one of these 2 week ago experiences where a poor woman in England had no idea who the guy named James was, and the woman who came in after her was jumping off the chair going, that's me, that's me.
Oh, that's going to make me cry because I when she passed, I asked for her protection, so I always feel her around, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for calling the show, and I wish you the best on your writing experience. But now you know, if you ever need a boost in your writing, which you really don't, but if you ever feel like you need a block, go paint, okay? Now, I know if you had a question, I have to go ask the other psychics, but I just got pulled. I really am curious about that next person, so I'm going to try to speak to her. I may end up talking about 1,000 miles a minute to get her in, but Jane, it's been a pleasure. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. Bye.
You're listening to Ren and Friends, Psychic Talk Radio. I'm your hostess, psychic medium Mary Beth Wren. And if you ever want to call the station, it's 1-888-454-2751. A quick shout out to the chat room at facebook.com/psychic radio. And let's try, if I can, without having Dave kill me, I really would like to bring Rosemary to the microphone. Can I please, please, please? Hey, Rosemary from Australia, are you there? Okay. If Rosemary, are you there from, is it Goondiwindi, Queensland, Australia? It must be like daytime, because if it's 8 o'clock here, you're probably looking at the, it's not breakfast, it's probably well into the afternoon. Rosemary, I hope you're there, because I got a feeling that we have a spirit here that's wanting to speak to you. And what I'm getting here, I think I hear her, and I've got just a few minutes left. There you are. Hi, Rosemary. Rosemary, I got to ask you very quick. Good afternoon. Are we talking about lunchtime your time, or?
Oh, it's in the morning.
Oh, it still is.
Yeah,
okay.
Nearly lunch. Yeah.
Well, Rosemary, I found an interesting phenomenon in the last reading. I felt like I was picking up on a woman named Ruth. Got the impression that she either was a baker, liked to cook, big thing for pastries, and I felt like it was on your mom's side of the family. The other person did not recognize the spirit, but she did say, and she mentioned your name, Rosemary, and I said, that's interesting. It's the next woman that's coming in. So I've just got a few minutes before my show wraps for this afternoon or this evening. So I would like to know if you can identify who Ruth is, or if it's a no-go, then if you could ask the question.
Might be my grandmother.
Ruth? Are you
sure?
But
her name is Rose.
That's what the other caller said. Her name was Rose. Okay, so I got it as Ruth. I feel her spirit coming through this reading, but she showed up in the first reading that you I don't know if you were listening to her or not. Anyhow, she sort of kind of came in as a loving presence. It kind of felt like I don't want to say a bum rushing. You didn't feel like she raced me like, hi, I'm here, talk to her now. But a sense that she's around your mom, And I got the impression of you've got to spend time with your mother. As if get closure with your mom. Spend time with her. Go over history. Get a family, not the family channel, I mean, it's Ancestry.com. Go through a lineage. Maybe it's a family reunion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There she goes again. She's talking about cooking, cookies, cakes, sweets. Whoever this person...
Yeah, she liked all that stuff.
She's certainly pushing through here. I feel that your grandmother, Rosemary... No, sorry, Rose. Your name's Rosemary. And I'm still hearing Rose.
Yeah, her name is Rosemary, too.
Okay, I'm getting a little confused, y'all. Her message is to spend time with your mother and make sure that you let your mother know that she is so deeply loved and that her mother, Rose, is coming through this reading to let your mom know that her prayers are being answered. Maybe your mom has a medical procedure coming up. Maybe she's just not sure about life or something. But I'm getting this sense of encouragement to tell her she's going to be okay. And that Joe is there. Joseph, Joey, it's not a kangaroo. I just feel like I want to say Joseph is there. So I realize that I may not have the time to answer the question you're asking for, but I do want to let you know that your grandmother is here and that she really wants to make sure to talk to you. Now, as I wrap up, because I've got 2 minutes to the show, I found it fascinating that your grandmother came through while I was speaking to an author, a writer. So if there's any possibility that you could be a writer or find yourself in any way that you can communicate through the forms of prose, writing, or poetry, I'm here to encourage you to get off your duff and do it. Don't shoot the messenger. That's just what I'm supposed to tell you. Okay. Does that make sense?
What about in your relationship?
Okay, got 60 seconds, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and then I got to sign off.
Yeah.
I get the word William. Just got William, that's it. And I get the impression of getting yourself in emotional, healthy shape. Not to look back in the past. Stop anchoring to the guy in the past. Keep going after that guy. He's not going to be worth it. Look for William.
What about a Norman?
I don't hear it. I get a W. I get a W, not an N sound. But,
oh, yeah.
Okay, I got 30 seconds to wrap. I probably won't be able to sign off very well, Dave, so sorry about that, dude. But I'm getting the impression that there's a new relationship for you, Rosemary, coming up in the next year around the January time period. But I still want to say William.
Oh, yeah.
So if Merman's middle name is William, you're good. Otherwise, enjoy.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Vibe channel. My name is Angel Confetti, and I'm your hostess for the evening. And I'm so glad that you're joining us on the A1R Psychic Network. So if you're listening to us on A1R or Moonstruck TV, either way, we are so glad that you're here because I am having a wonderful day. I'm really excited to share with everyone. I am on baby watch. It's been a difficult week. I've had a little rough time, but I'm so eager and excited because we are eagerly awaiting the birth of my first grandchild. I know I couldn't possibly be a grandmother, right? That's how I feel about it, but I don't even feel like I could be a mom. I'm 3 times in already and awaiting my first grandson. His name is Kai, Kai. And if he's not born between now and tomorrow afternoon, they're inducing her. So it could be any time because she is having some contractions as we speak. So if you guys don't mind, I'd really appreciate some prayers, sending some positive energy this way to my family, to my daughter, my grandson, and his daddy. Danny is an awesome young man and my daughter's fiance, and I just feel so blessed. So life is full of miracles, and I'm about to get to experience one that I haven't experienced in quite a while. My youngest is only 8, though, so it hasn't been that long, but man, a grandbaby, I think that's a whole different level. So I don't know really what to expect. I'm just super, super excited, and it couldn't come at a better time. I'd be lying if I didn't say we were going through some challenges lately, but nothing like a baby to lift your spirits, right? Nothing. I mean, it's just the most beautiful, beautiful thing. So it actually got me to thinking because you know how they say patience is a virtue? Well, it's definitely a spiritual thing, right? And it's something I'm not really good at. I have to admit it, when it comes to patience, I am totally like a kid still. I mean, I have a really hard time keeping a secret, but I keep people's secrets, don't get me wrong, but like even like Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, I want to give them to everybody early. I can't, I just sit on the edge of my seat when I know I got to keep something or wait for something. And so it got me thinking about that this week because I knew that my daughter was in her final week of pregnancy. And I know she could always go a week later, but she has some health conditions too that make it more likely for her to go early. So every day this week I've been like on eggshells just thinking, is it going to be today? And you know, I'm psychic, right? So I should know, right? So I keep getting these hits thinking it's going to be today. Let me tell you, when you're psychic, it doesn't matter when it happens to be your own family. When you're so emotionally connected and involved, you can't get a good reading for nothing, especially when it comes to future things and you're really excited about something or nervous about something. That energy blocks it. So here I am trying to pick up on when this baby's going to be born. And, you know, I think it's only natural to kind of put out there, you know, is it a bad thing to pray for it to be today? You know, because I really am ready. You can sit and go down your laundry list. Today would be perfect because I'm off work, or no kids, the kids don't have school, or, you know, today would just be the best day. So let's rush it up. Well, then I have my beautiful spirit guides that remind me that patience is needed and that there is a such thing as called divine timing. And of course, I got a little lecture in the sweetest, loving, compassionate way possible from my guides because they know how excited I am. They know it's just excitement and love that's driving this impatience. But you know what? They actually reminded me, he'll be here exactly when he's supposed to be here. And if they induce her, it's for a reason. But it will still happen when it's supposed to. And they reminded me that be careful what you wish for, and when we interfere with divine timing, which sometimes we do by our own choices, and we don't even realize it, that we can actually screw things up. So like, let's say, just for an example, let's say like when I was pregnant, I couldn't wait to be unpregnant, right? So I could have lied and made something up for them to induce me early, but what if something happened and went wrong that you didn't plan on? So as an example, let's say my daughter went in before she was supposed to, and that particular night the doctor on duty or the nurse on duty didn't get enough sleep that night, or took a little too much cough medicine or something, and they're not thinking clearly, and they could make a bad choice that could affect my daughter and my grandson's care. That may seem like, you know, that's not our fault, but sometimes we make choices that change the outcome and the timing of things and interfere with divine timing. So also, what about like if, like, let's say we rush her in to be induced early, or she goes into labor on a day she's not supposed to yet because we wished it so hard and put too much energy into it. And then let's say, what if she's in there at the same time as somebody else has an emergency and needs more focused care, and it's a life-threatening situation? She could be taking time and attention away from somebody that needs more of that time and attention, and it could have drastic consequences. And you may say, well, that wouldn't happen, but it happened to me on my last baby. I had somebody else come in that had an emergency, and I wound up giving birth to my son in the prep room. I wasn't even in the delivery room yet. And, you know, this person needed the help, and I understand that, and that was fine, but something horrible happened that started to interfere with my labor and almost cost me some issues with my son and my health as well. So just things like that we need to keep in mind. Not to mention, you know what? What if he's born in a different astrological sign than he's supposed to be? For those of you that believe in astrology and your signs, you know, it's not going to be earth-shattering, but it could change the energies that come in with them. So what if, you know, you say, well, this isn't a very good example, Angel. What about something else? Why do we really need to focus on divine timing? Well, okay, lots of people ask me about love. And what about Mr. Right, finding Mr. Right, or Mr. Wonderful, Mrs. Right? But then people tend to stay in cycles of bad relationships and then wonder, when is that Mr. Right going to come along? Or they keep getting involved in relationships that they know aren't meant for them, or they take a job that they know is not meant for them, but then they miss out on a perfect opportunity, or they miss Mr. Right when he comes by because they're so focused on the wrong things. It's going to happen in divine timing, and we need to make sure that we are putting our energy into what we want to happen, and we trust that it will happen when it's supposed to. But at the same time, we don't want to sit around and not enjoy ourselves, not enjoy our life in the meantime. And I'm sorry, I kind of said that a little backwards if that was confusing. What I mean by that is basically we need to pay attention and be in the present moment, paying attention to what's going on around us at all times. And while we need to still focus on enjoying life and doing other things, we can be in other relationships while we're waiting for Mr. Right to come along. But if we hurry up and try and rush it and focus on him right now, we could also miss out on some other things that we're supposed to be learning and finding out before, or to prepare us for Mr. Right. So let's say you're so focused on manifesting Mr. Right now, and then let's say you do meet him sooner than later, but then it doesn't work out because you didn't learn the important lessons you needed to learn first before getting into a relationship with this particular person, and you focused so much on Mr. Right that you skipped part of the steps in working towards that divine moment of meeting this particular guy. But an even bigger thing that I think is something that we can all relate to, have you had a near miss where you were almost in an accident? Or what about a terrorist attack? There are a lot of survivors of, like here in the United States, September 11th, that called in sick for work that particular day, or took a different route to work and didn't take the right bus, or got in traffic, or something derailed them or stopped them from getting there at the time that they normally would have, and it saved their life. See, angels, spirit, and God all know when the right timing is, and we don't. We may think we do, we may want things at a certain time, but only spirit truly knows what is the best, correct timing for everything. So I really thought about that this week and thought, little Kai will be here exactly when he's meant to be here. And it's going to be the perfect divine circumstances to ensure that he's healthy, that my daughter is healthy, that everything goes off without a complication, and that it will truly be the blessing that it's meant to be. As will when you find that perfect someone, as will when you find that perfect job, or when Spirit steps in and saves your life and prevents a tragedy. So whenever you start to get a little impatient, a little too excited, overly excited, where you start to put too much energy into something and focus too much on it too soon, or let's just say you don't trust the universe to bring it when it needs to be brought to you, those things can actually interfere and stand in the way of the actual event happening the way that it is meant to. And we need to trust that the universe is going to have it happen that day at that time, specifically for a reason, so that it happens the way it's supposed to. And most of the time, it's so that we can experience some very important life lessons that we need to help us on our spiritual journey, to add to the abundance and joy of our life, or help eventually get us to our goal, that we may need to make a pit stop, and we may need to stop along the way, but we think we need to keep going. And pay attention to those situations. Try and be present at that time and realize that if something is stopping you and derailing you from getting there as fast as you want to, or as fast as we think we should, then there's a reason for it, and it's an important one. And if you trust that and believe that, you can actually avoid some big disappointments. You can actually prevent yourself from getting aggravated, annoyed, stressed out. And it actually makes it easy to say, you know what? Okay, I believe this is happening for a reason. And when it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. And then it makes it so much easier to go ahead and move on to something else that's something else that you can be learning from, something else that you can be enjoying and experiencing, another life experience that you could be missing out on if you're not focused on the right things and you're trying to bring it through other things faster than you should. So I now need to heed my own advice and I need to stop and just be present in the moment. And that's what I'm doing, because you know what? I could use a few more nights of sleep. Yes, my daughter's going to be a wonderful mother, but I'm also a grandma and I'm mommy, and she's going to be wanting me to help her with a lot of things. I'm going to be stepping in those first few weeks to help her out. So I could use that extra sleep. I could use an extra day to focus on something else that needs to be done that I'm not going to have time for once Kai comes. So try and look at the positive side of things. And if you do that, things can be so much easier. And now, like I said, I just got to heed my own lessons there, and hopefully I can hold off till tomorrow and get some sleep. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep just from the excitement, but I am going to sure try, because I do trust Spirit. I do trust God and this universe, and I know that once that reward comes, it's going to be doubly sweet. So I will let you know next week how everything is going, and hopefully have some amazing pictures of this little guy to share with you. You might not get anything else out of my show next week, but baby pictures. And if that means you got to tune in on Moonstruck TV or watch our streaming on A1R's Facebook page so that you can actually see the pictures, or watch us afterwards, because you can play this back on YouTube. Watch our shows on YouTube and on A1R's Facebook page. So whichever one you want to do, please do. But I would like to get a call in tonight and do some readings, see what our caller, I have Anita from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and she's joining us live tonight on the Vibe channel. Anita, How are you doing this evening?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm happy to get through.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you're here with us. What can I do for you this evening?
I wanted to get a reading or maybe some guidance about how I've been feeling lately.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to, I kind of feel a lot of anxiety and sadness and grief and cursed. I'm not sure.
Okay. I am already picking up on a few things, but just fill me in a little bit on, do you feel like that you have ample things in your life that are creating this, or is that what you're trying to figure out, what's creating it? Does it feel like this is not justified energy that you should be experiencing?
Yeah, I usually can find the good things about everything. But lately I just feel like a lot of anxiety, like an impending doom or sadness or something.
Okay. Well, a couple of things came up from your guides and your higher self while I was listening, but I just wanted to ask you that so I could hear your voice and hear you explaining that. It helped me to pick up on a couple of other things. There's a couple of things happening here. For one, it's something that's happening to a lot of us, especially those of us that do believe in psychics in the spiritual world. That means that you are spiritually awakening, that you are open spiritually. So for a lot of us, actually most of us that are spiritually awakening or some level of higher level of their spiritual journey in this lifetime, we are all going through some really, powerful energy shifts these last few weeks. Because we had several big eclipses this year, back-to-back eclipses, and then we had the Lionsgate portal that was just closed last week, and we're just feeling some residual energies. The Schumann resonance energy, I'm not sure if you're familiar with what that is, but it's basically the vibration of the earth. It's almost like the earth's heartbeat has been putting out all this extra energy to help spiritually awaken the rest of us that haven't begun or have been closed to it, as well as speed up the awakening of those of us that have begun awakening. And this is a wonderful thing, but it's been bringing in such powerful energies lately with all of this happening, that these energies have been so strong, they're not what our body is used to experiencing. So it's creating some, what we would normally consider lower vibrational energies, like anxiety, fear, depression. But what is also happening here is it's helping, it may not be evident to you, it's on a subconscious level, deeper below the surface, is you're actually releasing some old wounds. I'm hearing there's some past life stuff that you are bringing up to the surface, as well as some earlier life traumas and emotional wounds that now are coming to the surface, and you don't realize it because it's all spiritual work that's being done by your spirit guides helping you and your higher self. But as these things come to the surface, the only way for it to release sometimes can cause symptoms of that trauma that you experienced back then. But because you're not aware of that and what's happening, you don't know where these energies are coming from. Or normal things like you stated that you could normally handle, you aren't being able to right now because you're juggling more than you realize right now. I am actually seeing that you're releasing something from a past life that involved your death, and I believe a betrayal as well. And that is bringing up some fear and anxiety. But I also think it's a really good thing because you are healing significantly these last couple of weeks. These releases are releasing blockages that have been so deep for so long that now that they're going to be released here soon, it's going to take a little bit yet, but here soon you're going to start feeling lighter, and you're going to start being more open to new energies coming in to start manifesting better things and more abundance in your life. And I feel like these healings are also going to help you physically whatever physical ailments that you've experienced over the last, I'm thinking 6 to 12 months, are actually going to start residing in, or improving, greatly improving, because these energy blockages are being released. So your guides just want me to tell you that this is working on multiple levels, and to just hang in there and stay positive as much as possible, but don't resist it. It's like if you feel really anxious or scared or just want to have a good cry, you know what, if you're at work or wherever you're at, just sneak into the bedroom, the bathroom, whatever you need to do for a little bit, and, you know, bang in the pillow if you're at home, or give a good cry and let it out. It doesn't mean you have to go full off for like hours, you know, just give it some time to process and let those feelings and emotions out. But trust, most importantly, and know that it's happening for a good reason. It's nothing to fear. I know when you feel those things, you immediately think something's wrong, something bad's about to happen. But that's not the case. They're telling me, I assure you, it's not the case. In your situation, this is good. This is really good, and it's working towards your greater good. And you should start to feel the benefits of that real soon. So I feel like this is, there's also something in your childhood that it's releasing. I feel like there was some trauma as far as, I believe there was some either bullying or just really hurt feelings by somebody that made you feel less than adequate at one point. And they're telling me this is one of the things. They pick random things that need to be released at certain times because they work with other things that they're releasing to help improve things that you need right now, like stronger self-confidence or better feelings of self-worth and self-love. And I'm being told that right now they're really trying to work on your self-love and increase that so that you can really start to feel like you can stand in your power and feel like you can take back some of the power that was robbed of you by people throughout your history, that because you got such a good heart and you're such a sweet person, you didn't know how to really fight and take that power back at the time. So you just digested what happened to you, and it's actually planted some unfortunate beliefs in you that have carried through the rest of your life, and at times stood in the way of you taking opportunities or standing up for yourself as an adult. So they just want you to know that these are the areas they're working on right now to improve this. So they want you to try and send yourself as much love consciously as you can over the next couple of weeks. Honor whatever surfaces, whatever feelings surface. Just trust and know it's for a good reason and that it can be trusted. Don't fight it, because if you fight it and resist, then it takes longer and you got to go through more, unfortunately. So if you don't resist and you let it go and go with the flow and try and trust it, you're going to get through it easier, and it'll get much faster, and you can move on to the next steps of healing. And they literally do little pieces at a time to put the bigger puzzle together to help give you back pieces of your life that have been taken from you from trauma and pain and disease and all those things. And so right now they're working on the self-love, confidence, and all the things that come along with that, including relationships and being able to trust and things like that. So does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
it
good.
Does,
Okay, so
I was
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, because I was just like reminded the other day about my dad, and that was really sad for me because he left when I was 3, and I was and I thought that might have to do with right now, like with this relationship, and I wonder why I can't get over it, and it's been a while.
Absolutely. They didn't specifically mention your dad, but now that I'm hearing that, I believe that it is all tied in. But they did specifically mention self-worth. And when you mentioned your dad, they kind of gave me a little I get goosebumps that let me know that that's a validation that's tied in. So yeah, absolutely. It's that, along with any time that somebody made you think that you weren't worthy of love or you weren't good enough. And that would definitely play into that, as well as just missing him, thinking, and grieving the loss of what could have been, things of that nature. And they're telling me that it's definitely all tied in together, and that those things are going to resurface whether you realize that's what it is or not in the next in the next week or so. I think you'll start seeing it really greatly improve.
Okay.
Okay. I hope that helps, Anita. I'm out of time, so I need to move on. But thank you so much for calling, and go with the flow. Just surf it out, and you'll be better in no time. Okay?
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay. So this is something that I've been hearing so much lately, and if you watched previous shows in the last month or so, honestly, I'm hearing so much difficulty with anxiety, depression, feelings that they just can't identify why they are so strong compared to usually when they're able to handle daily situations better. So I just want to encourage all of you to know that if you're listening to this show right now, this is probably affecting you as well, and it may not be these exact symptoms, but hang in there, okay? Know that you are loved. You are divinely loved and protected, and that it's all part of the greater good and your process. I have to go. I got to go check and see if my grandbaby's coming yet. I will be back here same time and place next week. But until then, or come back again next week, and until then, don't forget to take care of each other and love one another, all right? Talk to you later. Enjoy everything. Love you for now. Namaste.
Hi, I'm Faye, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air, Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hi, welcome to the Divine Medium presents Spirit Talk Live. Today I want to talk about the Hall of Knowledge. It is a place in heaven. I know everyone wanted to get the Angel of the Week, the Crystal of the Week, but I feel like we're not going to have enough time to do all that. So let's just get right into it. If you are looking to get sessions, get crystals, get anything to help with your life, you would go to thedivinemedium.com for any of that stuff, or the crystalcovespa.com for your crystal needs. Okay, let's get right into it. The Hall of Knowledge, it is a different plane of existence. It's a different vibration from Earth. There is a connection to Earth, which they call AKA Terra, in the sense that we learn of what we have to get done. It's like a big hall or banquet. It has these big white pillars. It kind of bends in at the top, just like the Book of Knowledge area, where you gain most of your insight to different places and realms, okay? The School of Knowledge, or the Hall of Knowledge, is more to kind of review your lives. The Book of Knowledge area is mainly kind of getting insight to other places. It's not bright like the sun, it's more like warm and sunny, and it shines from within and without, if that makes sense to you. So it's basically, it shines from wherever and everywhere, okay? The hall is tall, has marble pillars, like I said before, and emits a white radiance. If you come to the Hall of Knowledge, you're going to go down what's kind of like a corridor or a hallway, and this goes towards the classrooms or the lecture areas, and you perceive anything you want to in this area, in this hallway area, meaning you can see anything that you would like to see. If you visualize it, it's just suddenly going to appear. So, however, if you make an experience good or bad, so in the sense of bad, if you were dealing with guilt, or forgiveness, you're going to create this kind of soul suffering in this area so that you can review this this emotion. And this isn't to be reviewed in a bad way, but more of a calming, peaceful perception of what you just dealt with. It's basically the Hall of Knowledge is a transition area between the realm you just came from to the plane of existence that you're about to go into, okay? I have all my notes here so I don't lose my thoughts. You are the one learning in this area, and in turn, you make the surrounding environment look however you want it to. Every plane of existence is essential on a higher plane of Earth, so the topography or the surrounding area around you is going to be very similar to the energy of Earth. The energy is a lot thicker here. There is still hills and mountains and valleys and water, but not so much in the positioning sense that it would be on Earth. The colors are much more intense and vibrant. They're more pure in nature. You can have personal buildings of your own, but the energy behind this kind of construction blueprint behind these buildings is more influenced by giving a certain imagery leeway, again, with your perception. Mainly, it's Earth at a different plane. Everyone sees, but it's at a much different energy level. So just like the laws that control gravity on Earth, the laws that govern the energy here in this area are different than Earth, okay? So the animals are real, the trees are real, everything's real, the ground is even solid. However, the constructs of this plane can be very, very done effectively different. It's here all the time to help make the soul comfortable and at peace, but it's just a matter of personal perception as to whether or not you perceive it that way. When I speak of this, I'm speaking of souls on the plane of karmatic cycling or a soul's mantling. They don't really call it karmatic or karma. They call it more spirit mantling, soul mantling, aka incarnation. These souls would not perceive it because they are at a lower plane of perception and perceive imagery at that level. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Most souls would call this plane